Alright. Alright. Alright, we live. We live. 93, 93, 93. Do without what should be the whole of the law. We out. Not that we out, but I guess we're out from putting in that labor. We off for the day. What's up, Mary? 93, Mary. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know I haven't been live in a minute, but it's because I've been putting in these hours. What's up, Ty? What's up, Ty? What's up, Cam? What's going on, everybody? So y'all be putting me in a good mood. I'm not gonna say I wasn't in a good mood. I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted. But y'all always bring my energy up. So I thought I'd check in real quick. Thought I'd check in. I did 60 hours. I did 60 hours. What's up, Osmosis? Well, what's up with me? I just did 60 hours. It's my only day off. It's my only day off. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is going on? So I had to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then after today, I have to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. What the fuck is going on here? What is going on here? Motherfuckers are just just take these damn hours. They just giving out hours like it's like nothing. All right, hold on. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I just been working hours. I've been working crazy hours. 60 hours a week at this point. 60 hours a week, crazy hours. It's crazy hours. It's fucking crazy. This is all new to me. That's why I'm like this. Y'all know, it's just completely different. I'm like, all right, well, like, I don't even be having time to do nothing. I don't be having time. I'm like, yo, I got one day off. I got 24 hours. Then I'm right back for 4 days. I just did 6 days in a row. I get one day off. Then I gotta do 4 days. I just did a 60. Then I gotta do a 40. But fucking, I guess we got fucking paying bills and shit. I was just thinking where you been. Yeah, y'all ain't gotta worry about me. Y'all ain't gotta worry about me. Yeah, I just be doing a little vaping. But yeah, if I'm not on here, I'm working. If I'm not on here, then I'm working. So I guess that's a good thing at this point. I guess that's a good thing. So y'all not hearing from me is actually a good thing. Because most likely I'm just at the Justice Cipher born, right? Just putting in that work, Motherfuckers got all type of responsibilities. Now, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That money started coming in, like, oh, now you paying the extra bills. I'm paying all type of shit now. It's crazy. Fucking gotta pay rent, light bills, feeding yourself, clothing yourself. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But it's all good, We're just putting in that work. We're just putting in that work, and we gonna keep putting in that work. Cause I remember when I used to think about this shit. Meaning, like, I remember, like, I would have conversations with y'all. I would have conversations with y'all about my son and how he said he wanted like a PS5 and shit. I'm like, yeah, I can get that for you on your birthday. And now it's like my whole mentality is different. I'm like, I can get him one right now if I wanted to, but his birthday ain't for months. It's in August. But I'm putting in that overtime. So that's basically what's going on. I'm not gonna talk the whole video about this, but I'm just letting y'all know I'm putting in overtime. So that's why y'all ain't been seeing me. That's why I've been falling behind. I apologize to the people in the Telegram group. I've been falling behind, but it's because I've been working, and literally I only have like 6 hours when I get home. Right when I get home, 6 hours, right back at the job. 6 hours, right. I'm only at home. I'm at work more than I'm at home at this point. I only get 6 hours and that includes sleep. So somehow I got to figure out how to get enough sleep to go back for these 40 hours. So that's why, like, I just go home and excuse me, I just nod off. I be forgetting shit. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta buy from Amazon now. I don't even be having time to go to the stores. You know what I mean? I gotta buy from Amazon. So like, whenever I need something, I gotta do like an overnight shipment. Like today, I only get 1 day off. So I had to order something last night off Amazon and get the overnight shipment. You write your gear yet? The crazy thing is, about the gear, you know, I just had it, you know, laid out. Cause no, I haven't been rocking nothing. I got a whole bunch of shirts that I haven't even wore yet because I'm just at the job. So I got a bunch of shirts that I haven't even worn. I have a bunch of stuff that cause I'm like, I ain't even have a reason to yet. Like, I ain't about to wear that stuff to work. You know, I'm like, I'm not gonna wear it to work. But the crazy thing is, hold on. I know as soon as I go live, all this goddamn noise start. My sister had saw one of the shirts, and she just instantly fell in love with it. So I know the power. I know the power of that energy, you know, and I appreciate you for that. Cause as soon as my sister walked in, she like, yo, she saw that, you know, she saw that black goddess on that shirt. She saw that black goddess. She like, yo, I need that. You know, so I appreciate you. I appreciate like it. She she just literally changed her whole mood. I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize, you know, just the power of the imagery, you know. So I definitely appreciate you for bringing in that spark, cause I wasn't even thinking about no goddamn shirts. You know what I mean? But they're like, yo, that shit is dope as fuck. They just instantly changed the mood. So I appreciate it. So it's been affecting other people. You know what I mean? I ain't even had time. Like I said, normally I get 3 days off, but because of the overtime, I only get 1 day. You know, so maybe if I had a couple days off, maybe I'd do something. But that's what I'm saying. It's only like everything that I'm buying at this point is work related. Like even this, like I wear these to work. Right, so I ain't just rocking this, you know, trying to be cool. Like I actually go to work in this shit. All right. What's up, Jahari? Ashe? Let me show y'all what's going on. That's what the fuck I'm buying. Hold on. So this is what I'm getting, right? You see this? Black shirts, plain black shirts. I know those 60 hours ain't no joke. Ew, fuck. Oh shit. Yo, this shit is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. This shit is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how I'm doing this shit. This is it's like magical. But I told y'all, the world is your laboratory. I swear this shit is magical. I don't know how the fuck I just did these 60 hours. I don't know how I be doing these 40 hours. Here goes some more shirts. Gray shirts. Got some black shirts, gray shirts. I guess I got more black shirts. Wasn't even supposed to get. So I got 4 sets of black shirts. That's all I got. And I got a long sleeve. It's a long sleeve, white. That's all I've been getting. Just plain shirts, jogging pants. I got a couple of these. I got these in like 4 different colors. You know, cause at first I was just wearing whatever to work. Cause I'm like, it's work. The clothes are gonna get dirty. So why would I be wearing like fresh shit to work? And I'm working with goddamn boxes and all type of dirt and all that shit. I'm like, why the fuck would I wear any new shit till I got my goddamn mind right? And I'm like, it ain't no way that I'm gonna be here from 40 to 60 hours a week. And then like I'm wearing like fucking, I guess, work clothes. Like these are clothes that I only wear to work. I'm like, maybe not. Like I'm here too goddamn long. I'm here too goddamn often around the same goddamn people. Eventually I just started to feel real strange. I'm like, you know what? Well, let me just get some shirts. Like, let me spiff myself up a bit. Like I started feeling strange. That's what I'm saying. When you in these different type of environments, I wasn't even thinking about this stuff until you actually there. Then you see what the fuck everybody else is doing. Like motherfuckers is just ultra comfortable. That's what I see. Motherfuckers is comfortable. You would think they at home. People to be fucking people be coming to work with goddamn pajama pants on. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, even though you can, cause you can wear whatever you want, so they can technically wear whatever they want. But that shit be funny. I'm like, oh shit, look at fucking pajama pants. But no, I just keep it simple. Like you said, I don't rock no name brand shit. Well, not that it's not name brand, but you would know. Like everything is plain. Like all of the pants I wear, all of the sweatpants and all that, everything is plain. I don't like rocking like no logos or no shit like that. So everything is plain. Everything is simple. Even this, no logos. Everything is plain and simple. Right. So, what's up, Denton? Peace. I hope you're doing well. Can we speak a little on who is it, Cryus, and how it relates to the Kundalini awakening? Who was that? Who was Cryus? Is that a deity? Is that a technique? I'm not even sure what that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Can you explain to me what that is? And we can absolutely talk about it. But again, I just wanted to check in real quick. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time because, you know, I know I'm not the only one working, right? I know everybody fucking works, right? This shit is new to me, but I know it's just regular shit to y'all. That's why I'm acting like a little kid. I'm like, this shit is new to me. But to everybody else, they're like, yeah, I've been doing this shit 10, 15 years. Like to everybody else, oh, this shit is still funny to me. It's still funny. Like for example, like I may talk to a coworker, and they have the same shit, different day mentality. I'll be like, what's up? They're like, oh, another day, another dollar. I just started laughing. I just started laughing. I just started laughing. I'm like, oh shit. I be laughing so much at work just because of what people be saying. I'm like, this is all the stuff that, like, I remember talking about all this stuff. I'm like, people with these mentalities where none of the days are actually different. This is just basically time. They think about time in a sense of money. The only reason time has any relevance is because of how much money is being made based off of the pay rate. So now that I'm inside of the game, now that I'm inside of the matrix, so like I got a whole different insight. I have a whole different insight. What's up, precious mother of love? I appreciate you. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? I got to rediscover who I am. I just feel detached. I'm like, who the fuck am I? That's why I like to, go online. I like to interact with y'all a little bit. I'll be having to rediscover who I am. Cause I'm like, wait, I do have a YouTube, right? I mean, like I see how work fucking takes everything away from you. I see that now. Meaning, like before this, I used to work like little 6 hours a day, or maybe even 8 hours a day. But now I'm working 10 hours a day. So every day is 10 hours, right? So this is like a whole another level of energy that needs to be put out into the world. But it's the insight. I'm like, all right, yeah, the money is cool, but it's the insight that I'm gaining that's actually worth it. It's the insight. Because now I'm not just talking and I'm not the person that's actually doing it. See, that's what I like. Now I can talk crazy because I'm actually doing it. Because I don't like to talk about shit I'm not doing, right? So now I get to talk crazy because like, yeah, I work just as hard as you do now, right? I work just as hard as you do now. Probably work more hours than a lot of people, right? So I'm putting in those 40 plus hours the same way you putting in those 40 plus hours, right? So, and I just see the difference, right? Meaning people who normally wouldn't even have shit to say to me, now they asking me about, hey, how's the job? I'm like, what the fuck you mean, how's the job? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. Because I'm just seeing how different shit is, right? Like I would actually get a hug from my mother, right? And my mom she's not that type. You know what I mean? She's just pure gangster. You know what I mean? Like my mom is like from the streets. You know what I mean? Like she don't give it like that lovey-dovey type shit. She don't even, we don't even really touch each other like that. You know, she's just that hardcore with it, so we don't even really touch each other. Now she giving me hugs and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, it was like, oh shit. She was like, yo, I see your sacrifice. I'm like, oh, you like you didn't see that sacrifice when I was putting in those goddamn 10 years of YouTube? Nope, nope, they ain't see none of that shit. The only people that saw it is y'all. See the actual real world. It's like I've been a ghost for like 10 years to them, and like in everybody else's eyes, like it's just been whatever. They didn't understand it. But now that I'm doing what they're doing, and I'm working harder than them, because at this point I'm working hard. It ain't even that I'm matching their energy. I'm working harder than them now. Now it's like, oh, now they want to ask about the job. Now they want to, motherfuckers want to get emotional and shit. I'm like, this is all I had to do. I thought I was doing something righteous for the world. I'm just fucking working on a job like everybody else. Now everybody want to fucking have these conversations. I'm like, what the fuck? Like now that I'm doing regular shit, I feel like I was doing ultramagnetic, activity, with the YouTube and with the channels, with the discoveries. I thought I was fucking changing the world, just a little influence I have. But now that I'm doing regular shit, now people want to have conversations. I'm like, wait, you did have dope conversations for me before. When you thought I was just sitting on my ass all day, right? When they thought I was sitting on my ass all day, they ain't had shit to say to me, you know? Now that I say like, oh shit, he's going harder than we, but I've been going harder. See, that's what people don't realize. I've been going harder than the average person anyway. I was just doing it in my own way. But y'all know that, right? I don't have to explain that to y'all. But to the rest of the world, again, they didn't see, they don't know about these 1,000 videos, right? You know what I mean? They don't know about how we didn't went from hell to the heavens. See, they don't know all that. So to them, they don't. It's like I'm just a ghost, right? They don't see that effort. But now that they actually see the effort, now they got something to say. But I'm just at a point where I'm unaffected. I'm unfazed by it because I just understand how the world works. I'm amongst the world now. See, before I was just amongst myself in '93, right? I was just amongst y'all and myself. So we can relate on the level we relate to. But the rest of the world never really gave a fuck, right? And I just got to the point where I didn't even care about that. But now that I'm amongst the world and I'm amongst other working people, people that put in pretty much the same amount of time I put in, but they're not putting in the same amount of effort. They're not putting in the same amount of energy. See, that's the difference. What I mean by that is, it be people at work that laugh at me because I'm actually working. They be like, bro, you can slow down. Like, yo, slow down. I be trying to get shit done. They're like, yo, we got to be here 10 hours, bro. You don't have to rush. Like, we got 10 hours, man. You don't have to rush. But it's like me just standing around, just waiting to be told what to do. Like, it irritates me. So like the way I let the time pass, the way I like time to pass is when I'm actually active doing things. I know other people, like they can do nothing all day and the time just, it's a breeze, or they can just be talking to people. I don't really do too much talking at work. Again, the most talking I do is on here. So when y'all see me on here, this is the most talking that I do the whole day, right? So I'm not running my mouth. I'm just there to put those hours in, right? Then motherfucking light bills and shit. Fucking light, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, how the fuck is a light bill $241? That's what's going through my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. Fucking light bill is two. I'm like, how the fuck did that? Like, I'm barely even here. I'm barely here. And when I am here, I'm like asleep. I'm like, how the fuck did the light bill get to $241? Oh shit, this it's funny. Cause I'm like, oh, this is what people be going through. All these random shits popping up. I know everybody goes through this. You thinking shit is sweet. Then it's a fucking random bill just comes out of nowhere. Like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, oh, well, I gotta put in more hours. That's just always the solution, right? Like, I gotta call in, gotta put in some more hours. It ain't about, okay, well, how can we get the bill down? It's like, oh, well, it is $241. Okay, all right, well, I guess that's however many hours it would take you to make that. I'm like, all right, I gotta just. I'm like, oh, I see how people think now. I'm like, that's what my, oh, this is all about. That's what they say time is money. Basically, what I'm giving y'all the mentality. Because now that I'm in the inside, it's like I'm a fucking spy. I swear I'm a spy because my mentality is just so different than everybody else. I be laughing at these people. People be coming to work all depressed and shit. Oh, like I'm just always smiling and shit. I'll be in my own mind. But I guess it's because I still have some type of imagination going on. I'm still fresh out of the streets. So, oh shit. But it's a lot of young people though. That's another reason. Like I ain't really doing too much conversation. It's a lot of young people. It's probably like older teenagers, like at the minimum, and then there's a couple elders, right? But it's a lot of young people doing what young people do. You know, people clicked up, people just running their mouth, people doing that. So that's why I don't really be into the crowds like that. Cause I'm like, these people just talking just to pass the time. It ain't that what they're saying is actually has any importance, right? And I'm also not about to go up in the goddamn work and talk about any of this shit. I'm like, I'm not about to go up in there talking about no 93 shit. I'm like, motherfuckers is just gonna be looking at me crazy. So I'm not mentioning any of this stuff. So everything I talk about is work related. And then, so after I do my 10 hours, then I still get an hour of sunlight a day. I still make time for the sunlight. I still make time for the sun, especially this Vegas sun. So I'm saying that every day I come back a fucking hot mess. Every day that I get home, I come back a hot ass mess. Cause I just traverse through the desert. Cause I'm like, okay, let me get my hour of sunlight. Cause I just been in this building for 10 fucking hours, and I'm not just about to just go straight home into another building. And then we got this hot ass Vegas sun. It's like 93 degrees today or something like that. So I'll at least still get my hour of sunlight. So by the time I actually make it back home, I'm just drenched in sweat. I'll be feeling like crazy. I'm like, man, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to coming home fucking sweaty as fuck. I'm like, what is going on here? That's why y'all see me with all these damn shirts. That's why I gotta have all these shirts. That's why I got all these shirts. Cause I'm like, it's only a certain amount of time I can wear these shirts before they're like, after you like wash your shirts and stuff, they start to get all, I don't even know the word for it. They start changing. So I know I'm only gonna be able to wear those shirts probably a couple times before they start looking crazy. But every day is like I just gotta change my whole wardrobe. Like the clothes that I wear at home and the clothes I wear at work, it's just two completely different. Cause I gotta strip butt ass naked when I come home. The whole body is just fucking sweating and shit. But it's still mental. It's mostly mental. And again, I'm not gonna talk about this forever. Cause I'm gonna still give y'all some jewels. I'm just giving y'all updates real quick. So the updates is just I'm just working hard like everybody else, right? I'm just doing regular shit, right? I'm just doing regular shit, but my inside is clear. I got this clear ass inside. I'm like, oh, because I'm not this up close and personal to people, because y'all know I wasn't really a people's person, So I wasn't thinking about people like that. As y'all know, I have this anti-social mentality, right? So now that I have to be amongst people, these people is funny. I swear, like every day that I go, every day that I go, I'm seeing somebody that's doing some shit that's making me laugh, or just the conversations that people have. It's making me laugh, right? Like I'm at what is it called? It's like a theater. I'm at theater all day. I'm in theater all day. I'll be like, some days I'm like, I can't believe they paying me for this. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, how the fuck are they paying me for this? Like, I'm in theater all day. I mean, just to listen to. See, this used to irritate me. And I see your question, Ashe. I just want to make this point. See, this one, like this stuff used to irritate me. Like people just doing what people do. People engage in nonsense, just running their mouth about anything. This type of stuff used to irritate me. Now this just brings joy to my heart. That's what I mean. I'm like, maybe I'm changing because people talking about nonsense actually brings joy to my heart. It doesn't irritate me anymore because I get it now. I'm like, oh, everybody has a different way of passing the time, right? So some people like to talk shit, joke around. Some people actually like to do the actual job. So I'm like, we got all types of people here for different reasons. For some people, it's a fashion show. I be seeing people in clothes. I'm like, these are like, how can? I'm like, there is no way you came to work. What the fuck? I'm like, how the fuck did you come to work in this? It does. It's I'm like, yo, you. Not that they shouldn't come to work with it, but I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I compare it to? I compare it to a block on New York. That's how I feel when I'm at work. I'm like, I'm on a block in New York. Cause I got those New York memories. I'm like, this reminds me of New York. It just reminds me, I'm like, well, like, what the fuck is going on here? It reminds me of New York. It also helps me to understand why Las Vegas got like this Formula 51 mentality, like the race cars. I'm like, oh shit. Like a lot of things that I didn't know about Vegas is starting to make a lot of sense just being amongst Vegas. So basically, it's like I'm amongst Vegas. I'm amongst the spirits of Vegas now, which I wasn't before. I guess that's why it irritated me because I wasn't amongst the spirit of Vegas. I was amongst myself. Of course, I am the spirit of Vegas, like everybody else here is the spirit. If you've been here long enough, I guess. But being amongst people who've been here for a while, like 10 plus years, it's like I'll be amongst people. Like the Vegas mentality is like it's very lighthearted because it's just the karma is not here. There's not a lot of karma here. So people are not like really just mean mugging all the time. People don't have to act like extra hard. Even the hoods is actually clean. It's like so there is no need to be extra. So like the people are just like cooling. Like you can just go up to anybody and just have a conversation. Like the people are just cooling. But I guess it doesn't really apply for me. I guess I still look kind of weird. Not that I look weird, but I know that my aura, my essence is a little strange. But let me answer the question. What's up, El Ray? Let me answer your question, Asha. Any insight on timeline shifting or jumps happening currently? See, that's why I was talking about time. I've noticed this. So what I'm saying, this shit is crazy. I'm having a lot of revelations just going to fucking work. I wasn't really expecting that. I was just like, oh, I'm just doing what I gotta, hold on. I'm just doing what I gotta do type shit. But I'm having a lot of revelations about time. So, for example, a lot of people were getting hurt during the Mercury retrograde and the Pluto retrograde. We're still going through the Pluto retrograde, but we're out of the Mercury retrograde. So during the time of the Mercury and the Pluto retrograde, people were getting hurt. And what I mean by hurt is like on the machines. Like we gotta work with all these different type of machines depending on what department you're in. So you're working with these machines that can potentially fuck your ass up. And it didn't get real to me till like one of my own coworkers, because you know it's different departments. It'd be all types of people in different departments. Like I saw somebody like they had smashed a thumb in one of the machines. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? But I realized these machines are spirits. This is my first revelation. Because even now, I be driving the forklifts and shit, right? And I swear Haven't we been hearing that the whole time? Does it really take 30 minutes to fucking blow leaves? Like, what the fuck is going on? I swear, as soon as I hit the record button, none of this shit was going on prior. That's why I feel like, okay, this is a good time to record. It was silence. As soon as I hit the record button, now the goddamn leaf blowers going on. I'm like, yo, those are the same, like they've been doing, they even in the same spot for 30 minutes. Like, they've been in the same spot. I say, I haven't even took a hit. Like, this shit is dangerous. Fucking 90%. Anyway, and I'm like, this shit is crazy. Let me just do a brief intermission, right? Let me do a brief intermission. I'm like, yo, it don't take 30 minutes. Like, it don't take 30 minutes to do this shit. Time. This is time. Meaning motherfuckers be taking a sweet ass time. Let's just say a job that may have only taken like 3 hours takes 6. Because this is how people manipulate time. They work at their own pace. Right? That's also what I see on my own job, right? People work at their own pace. Something that could take an hour is probably going to take you 2, if you can stretch the hour into 2. Basically, people are all about stretching hours. If it's going to take me 3 hours to do something that takes an hour for me to do, then I'm going to stretch it to 3 hours just so I don't have to do more. Because obviously, when you finish one task, you're going to be given another task, right? So people ain't trying to be given more task and more task and more task. So they're basically trying to stretch their task. How do I know this? Because, you know, one of the leaders at the job, like, I be coming up to him so much. I'm like, all right, what's the next assignment? What's the next assignment? They be like, yo. Like, yo. Like, just keep doing what you do. Like, they don't even have no work for me. I'm like, apparently I'm the only one working here then. But I guess so, because I guess it ain't just an abundance of people. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? They trying to take as long as they want to take, right? Every hour, I'm like, what's next? What's next? What's next? They're like, yo, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, well, I wasn't doing it. Like, keep doing what you're doing. I wasn't doing anything. So now I gotta pretend like I'm doing something. Like, the reason that I came up to ask you what's the next assignment is because I complete the last assignment. So if your response is keep doing what you're doing, I'm like, yo, the assignment is complete. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta let me try to this is a mental game. This is just my revelations on the job. I'm like, this shit is so mental. This is, even though this is highly physical, this is meaning I may be unloading trucks all day. Some days I'm sore, right? Some days I'm just unloading trucks, 50-pound boxes. Just throwing the bitches, just throwing 50-pound boxes. Whole trucks and those long ass trucks. So just imagine these long ass 18-wheeler trucks with the trailers, and it's just full of fucking boxes. Some of the shit be organized, but a lot of this stuff don't be organized. It's just people just literally threw the fucking boxes in the truck. It is crazy. The boxes just coming out the truck soon as you lift the shit up. No. So you have a whole fucking truck, a whole trailer of boxes. And you're like, okay, empty that shit. So we may have to go through, basically, for every one person may touch like 1,000 boxes a day. Every one person may put their hands on 1,000 boxes. Basically, if you're unloading the trucks, of course it's different departments, right? So if you're a person unloading the trucks, you'll probably go through 1,000 boxes through your whole shift. But that's one person, because we may have to go through 100,000 boxes. Like, that's basically what they're building. They're building it up to the point where we go through 100,000 boxes a day. All right. So if it's, let's just say, 4 trucks at a time being unloaded, and each truck probably has like 5,000 boxes. Not 5,000. What the fuck am I thinking? Not for like 500 to 1,000 boxes. So if each truck has 500 to 1,000 boxes, let's just say each truck has 1,000 boxes. So 1,000 times 100 is 100,000, right? So that means 100 people have to touch 1,000 boxes. And then it may take like an hour or two, depending on how fast the conveyor belt is going. Sometimes it stops, right? I'm just giving y'all the mathematics behind the type of pressure that we're under. Like, that's another reason why I'm laughing. I laugh because of the amount of pressure. They're like, yo, okay, we got to go through 30,000 boxes a day, for example. And then you looking at it like, God damn, that's a lot of fucking boxes to unload. Whether some people are unloading manually, some people are on the forklift unloading pallets. That's basically what I'd be doing, right? I may be on the goddamn forklift unloading pallets, or I'm manually taking boxes out of the trucks, or I got the little pallet jack moving pallets from over here to this department to that department. So the whole day I'm just interacting with the wood element. That's another thing. The wood element in Chinese, and the Chinese elements is actually the spirit element. They don't call it spirit, they call it wood. So our spirit element would be the wood element. So I'm like, okay, I'm interacting with wood all day. Wooden boxes or cardboard, right? That's probably a better way. I'm interacting with cardboard. So I'm interacting with the spirit element. It's probably another reason why, I don't really get down and depressed because I know what's going on. I'm like, oh, this is why I spent all this time in the occult. Cause I'm like, oh, this is where I'm actually applying it now. See, it's one thing, when you have created your own universe, you have created your own world. But when you have to enter into the worlds of others that already exist, aka Universe A, when you have to enter into Universe A, because you can say your own reality is Universe B. When you have to enter into other people's reality, Universe A, if you are paying enough attention, you can actually, again, I swear, doesn't it seem like this goddamn leaf blower has been at the same spot the whole time? Anyway, not to throw off the actual topic here, but the point that I'm making is I see why I spent so much time in the occult, because I'm like, I have to apply everything that I learned. Everything that I learned over these last 10 years is being applied right now. I'm applying everything that I learned. I'm like, oh, this is a big ass laboratory. We think it's people here doing their job. That's what we think. That's why I'm like, I don't even know how this shit gets done. And I'm sure this goes for any job. Doesn't it seem like people are just doing whatever the fuck they want to do all day, but somehow the assignments get complete? To me, this shit is magic. If you want my honest opinion, the way that this stuff works is magical. The reason I say this is because there's always limited space. Meaning there's so much work coming in. The same thing was when I used to work at Walmart like 10 years ago. And it would always be limited space. So you always find yourself playing Tetris. You gotta like create space where there is no space. So if you're looking at a bin, for example, and the boxes are just thrown in there crazy, you gotta organize the boxes to the point where now you didn't create an extra space, then you can put the boxes into that extra space. And you're just doing that you can be doing that shit all day. Okay, well, we got all these boxes, find somewhere to put them. So that's time consuming. I'm like, I remember when I was doing it. I'm like, yo, there is no goddamn space. To me, I felt like I had to go into 4D to create space. That's what I'm seeing. That's what it seems like now. It's like I have to go into 4D to create space because there's clearly no space, right? There's always limited space. I'm sure it's like this for any goddamn factory that processes a large amount of work or freight. So it's always limited space. But somehow you have to make space within this limited space. And somehow we are always able to find space in limited space. There's like when you look with your eyes, you're like, there's nowhere to put this shit. But then when you look with the third eye, you're like, oh, there's a space right there. But I gotta move this out the way, move this out the way, move this out the way. Then here's that space. That's third eye thinking. So this is what I discovered. I'm like, this shit takes third eye thinking. That's what's really exhausting my energy. It ain't even the physicality of it. It ain't the sweat. Again, I don't like being fucking dirty and sweaty, but that ain't what's making me tired. It's the mental abilities that I have to use to create these openings that are non-existent. I have to go into my 4D mind to even create these opportunities. And this is basically what I'm like, oh, I see why they're really paying us. They're paying us for that 4D mentality because they clearly can't do this shit. Because when they're looking with their eyes, they're like, yo, there's no more fucking space. But when we look with our third eye, we're like, oh, okay, I need to navigate this, navigate this, navigate this. Okay, it's like, you know, you're going through that math, that high mathematics. I'm like, oh, okay, supreme mathematics. You got to go through supreme mathematics for this shit. So that's why I'm like, the pressure doesn't get to me like it may get to somebody else. Oh, we got to go through this many boxes, this many boxes, this many boxes. Because they tell us that every morning, here's the goal. We have to hit this goal. So they already, it's like, we do a fucking ritual every morning. Again, I notice this stuff. I'm like, damn, this is a ritual. Meaning, like, we got to do things like coordinate. This ain't a job where you just clock in and you just go to your department and just work. Everybody has to meet up in the morning and after lunch. Everybody has to meet up, you know, to get briefed. But before we get briefed, we have to do like this ritual where I'm not gonna explain the ritual, you know, but obviously they don't call it a ritual, but I'm like, this is a fucking ritual. I see this shit, like, this is a ritual. So all this stuff is clear, right? All this shit is clear. So I know if I see this, you see this, and this is actually what you go through as well. Like, we are being paid for our third eye tactics. This is what we're being paid for. That's why I use this. When I figured that out, because y'all know I had to get clean, right? No drugs, no chemicals. I was doing all that stuff, right? But I'm trying to mentally and physically prepare myself for what's to come. Then when I get there, I'm like, wait a minute, this goes back to the first universal law, right? This is the first universal law, the law of mentalism, right? Do they make y'all stretch? This is funny. No, that's not the ritual part though. But yes, you have to stretch because you're dealing with freight. So everybody's doing a different activity. So yeah, you gotta stretch, but that ain't the ritual part. I'm like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Cause I know that first week I was sore. That first week I was so sore the first week that I literally had to call off and use like fucking personal time. So that way I still get paid. I'm like, yo, my body is so sore, I can't get out of the fucking bed. I'm like, yo, I've never experienced this shit before. I'm like, yo, I'm so sore. Like to the point where my fingers, I couldn't even do this. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, did I work that hard? Or am I just out of shape? I'm like, I don't know what it is. I'm like, am I really just out of shape or am I really just pushing myself? But after that, I'm like, oh, see, this is completely different now. And the reason I keep showing this is my reasoning for doing this is different now. See, before it was like spiritual. Okay, I'm connecting with the spirits and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Hold on, let me put this on the charger. Hold on. Give me a second here. Hold on. Let me take these headphones out. Cause I only have like 10%. Give me a second. Hold on 1 second here. Let me make sure this is charging. Wait, I don't think it's charging. Hold on. Nope, hold on. The charger probably fell out the socket. Hold on. Let me plug this charger up so we don't black out. Give me 1 second. Let me plug this charger up. Hold on. Hold on. All right, we're good. But yeah. So what was I saying? I was talking about. Oh yeah, because when I first started using this, it was for spiritual reasons, right? I'm working with spirits. I'm downloading information, yada yada yada. Now this is just to keep my muscles loose. This is what it's been doing for me. Meaning the physical benefits of this never really mattered to me. The physical benefits of this never really mattered to me because that's why I wasn't doing it for those reasons. Now I'm doing this just to keep my muscles loose. And I haven't been sore ever since. All right, I haven't been sore ever since. And in terms of the mental, the 4D mind, this helps with the 4D mind. So I'm like, all right, this helps keeps my muscles loose, and this helps me to see spaces that can't be seen in 3D. Sounds like a good deal to me. But anyway, I got some other stuff too. All right. I don't even be fucking with this. Like, you see this? I don't even be having time for it. I don't even be having time for it. I don't even be having time for it. That's the crazy thing. I don't even be having time for it. Hold on. Just giving y'all a little sneak peek. See, this is what I'm supposed to be doing on my days off. Supposed to be doing this on my days off. I ain't even did it. That shit is crazy. Like when you don't even have time to smoke. I literally bought some shit and I haven't even touched it yet. Damn, I'm trying to hold on. I haven't even touched this shit yet. Oh, yeah, hold on. This ain't really showing y'all nothing. As you see, some people know what that is. I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not mentioning it. But those who know. I see why my coworkers vape so much. Not that you say muscle relaxation. Exactly. See, I didn't get this shit either. See, that's what I'm saying, that I'm learning. I'm like, I'm thinking people just doing this shit to be cool or they just have an addiction and all that. But I'm like, no, that don't have nothing to do with it. It's like, yo, motherfucker trying to keep their muscles relaxed. They dealing with freight. I'm like, oh, I get it. All right, I get it. Let's see, I ain't even been fucking with this. And then it's no smell, so all right, it's no smell. So that's the beauty of it, meaning you can just fire up whenever. So that's basically why I haven't even been fucking with this, because I'm like, I can't take that shit to work. Right? I can't take no goddamn joints to work or no blunts. But I'm sure people smoke blunts and joints before work. I'm sure they do. But I'm like, I can't go in there smelling like weed. So I ain't even had time to fuck with it. I ain't even had time to fuck with it. And the crazy thing is, I used to do this shit all day. But now I'm like, damn, I don't even have time to smoke. And this hits stronger. Because I got that extra shit in there. So the vape hits strong, but it don't hit strong as this, but I ain't even had time for it. But anyway, I'm just giving y'all the real insight. The insight that you're not gonna get from other coworkers, right? Other workers, they're not gonna bring you into their business like this. But that's why I'm here, right? I'm here to bring y'all the insight that other people is not gonna bring y'all, right? They too civilized. They're too civilized to just give you the real deal. I'm just giving y'all the real deal, you know. Just as a person that's working now, as a person that's I guess doing the complete opposite of what you seen me do when I first started this channel, right? But that's why I tell y'all I needed to show y'all every level, right? That's why I do what I do. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm like, I have to show y'all every level, right? I can talk about the devil shit all day. I can talk about the demonic shit, the clip off, the Citra Aqua. I can talk about all the dark stuff all day. But even I'm like, the world only cares about appearance. That's all the world cares about. And I understand that now. It's like I knew, but I didn't understand. See, that's the difference. I had knowledge, but I didn't understand it because I wasn't in the cipher, right? So, like, you can learn things from outside of the circle. But when you're actually inside the circle, now you begin to understand why things are the way they are. Meaning you are only able to see it from the outside looking in. So you just see it. So you're just taking it on face value because you're just going based off of appearances. But when you begin to understand, now you know it from the inside out. Right? So I had knowledge of many things. But the understanding is, okay, now that I'm actually inside of the cipher, I see why certain things happen. Right? So it gives me a lot more patience with people, I guess. Cause y'all know, like my patience is thin. Just talking to idiots. But now it's like the person that I'm calling an idiot is probably an essential factor of why the city runs the way it runs. What I mean by that is all these people that I may have something to say about, or I may like or dislike, or whatever the case may be. These are the people that actually keep the city up while you get the order. Let's just say you go to a restaurant, you order your food, you get your food. There's a person that actually, not just a person cooking the food, not just the seller or the restaurant, all that food had to be prepared before it even got to the restaurant. Somebody was doing all that. Somebody packaged that shit up. Probably a person you don't like or wouldn't like. That's another thing that I noticed. I'm like, for example, with construction workers, I notice this a lot with construction workers. What happens is like these people, from my observations, I'm not saying that they all are like this, but from my observations, hold on. From my observations, they tend to not have the best manners. They tend not to have the best manners, right? Meaning this is a person that loud when everybody's trying to be silent, right? A person who's talking reckless when everybody's trying to be civilized. Those type of people. So as much as unlikable as these people were, we just call them what they are. These are people with Saturn, right? The construction workers, the laborers. Even I would be considered a Saturn type person at this point, right? These type of people normally, don't have the best personalities. You may dislike these people, whatever the case may be. But these are the people that are fulfilling essential functions in your particular city. The people that you don't like. So people that you don't like is why the lights stay on, right? Why when you have a problem, there's somebody to call and who can come fix the shit, right? You have a problem with your internet, you can call a company, they send a technician out, right? Basically, these are, you can say, the problem solvers, but they're like unlikable. But I get it because they're fucking solving problems all day, which I'm basically doing at this point. I'm like, I'm solving problems that were not in the training. Like they train you for something, but then you run into a bunch of problems that you wasn't trained for. Now you got to figure out what to do, which is basically what they want you to do. They want you to be put in situations where you have to think on your feet and you have to figure it out. Like, oh, yeah, we didn't train you for that, but let's see how you do it. Shit just happened to me yesterday. It was like a goddamn double pallet, right? See, sometimes you have a double pallet. A pallet is the wooden foundation that the boxes be on, right? So sometime in the truck you have pallets that are double stacked. So if the first stack is not level, then it begins to tilt the upper stack. So with a forklift, you know that it has the two things they need to be level to go in. So if you got a slant box, obviously you can't go in. So you got to do some extracurricular activity to get it to where you can lift it off and basically shit that they couldn't train you for, right? So a manager had came because I was in that situation where it was a double stack pallet and the one on top was like slanted, so I had to do some extracurricular activity. So he comes over, he like, yo, just make sure you tell a manager when you're in these particular situations because if something falls, then now we got big problems. Or like, oh, they definitely let you know that, oh, don't drop shit, right? Oh, don't let you drop one of those pallets, huh? Oh, it's gonna be a problem, right? Or they let you know it's gonna be a problem. But if a manager is present, then it's okay. So long as it drops and the manager is present, then it's okay. But if the manager is not present, it's a problem. So the manager just walks up. He see me doing this extracurricular activity. He like then they like make sure we're somewhere on the scene when you're doing this. And then I ask him. So I stop what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, well, what would be the best way for me to do this then? Then his response was, well, I'm not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not saying you're doing it wrong. Actually, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, wait a minute. Come over here talking this goddamn shit. Then I just do it right. So now he's watching. Now I gotta figure out this extreme problem while the manager is watching. Somehow he just comes up, okay, now he wants to watch me to see if I can figure this out. He's like, okay, let me see you. You're like, yo, if it falls, it falls. I'm like, no, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, motherfuckers trying to psych me out. I'm like, oh, you try to psych me out. Because a lot of people fold under that pressure. Like, oh, well, if it falls, just let it fall. I'm like, oh, I feel like, no. I'm like, I'm not letting this fall. So I maneuver it and got that shit off, put it down. It didn't fall. You're like, oh, just keep doing what you're doing. He just walked. He just walked off. I'm like, oh fuck. Oh man. Anyway, that's all. That's all day. That's what I gotta do all day. I gotta use Jedi mind tricks. I have to use Jedi mind tricks. And as y'all see, I haven't even took any of this, right? I just been showing y'all the damn pen. I haven't even. That's just how my energy is like crazy. My energy is crazy at the point. I thought I had energy, but now my energy is crazy because I guess I'm just more physically active now. So not only am I physically active, then it's again, I guess I'm getting more sunlight. I don't know what the fuck, but I've been experiencing a lot of what was it, prerogative dreams, and dreams with visits from my ancestors, some known and many I never met. Dreams with old pictures on the wall from like the 1800s. The 1800s is the 19th century, and that's a century of pre-cognitive. Okay, I see what you're saying. The 19th century, I tell y'all about the 19th century all the time. Maybe I don't tell y'all about the 19th century all the time, but the 19th century is where a lot of people were born who still has an effect on reality to this day. What do I mean by that? Tesla, Nikola Tesla was born in the 19th century. Aleister Crowley was born in the 19th century. Helena Blavatsky was born in the 19th century. Elijah Muhammad was born in the 19th century. The reason I'm naming these people because the work that they put in still exists to today, right? The Nation of Islam is still standing because of the work Elijah Muhammad put in. The Lima is still currently active on the planet, right? Whether it's due to the lodges or just people like you and me doing what we do, right? Studying the literature. Helena Blavatsky, the Nazis took on that philosophy and they still take on that philosophy. The fire root racist Helena Blavatsky, right? So that is still active. And also Tesla. Tesla, is a whole company, a car company now, right? And they still, use his words, his references. All these people were born in the 19th century. The 19th century is also when the camera was created. So when you talk about photographs, the camera was invented in the 19th century, especially moving pictures, right? Motion pictures. All that's like later 19th century, which is the 1800s. They actually have videos on YouTube. Like look at the natives or the indigenous people. They're like dancing and shit. Back in the 1800s, some of the earliest motion picture video that we have is our ancestors doing their sacred dances. Imagine that. These are free people expressing their culture and their language, and we have I don't think there's no audio, but there's actually video of ancient dances from Americans, right? The so-called natives from America, not from America, that was in America, right? So the reason we have dreams or energies that revolve around the 19th century because that you really don't need to study anything else outside of the 19th century. I mean, the 19th century was completely different than every century that came before that, right? The 1800s was profound. We are still affected to this day. So if all you did was study the 19th century and you didn't study no more history, you will have a grand understanding of what's going on today. All you need to study is the 19th century. And if you're able to contact your ancestors who were born in the 19th century, then all the better because they would actually, even if you don't know who they are, you can discover who they are. If you put in the proper work. So that's because I completely understand what you mean because I have a lot of medieval types of dreams in like medieval times. Not that they're talking like old English, but a lot of medieval energies, right? But that may be because I'm from a medieval place. I'm from a gothic place, Detroit, right? So that may be where you were born. Probably has something to do with that. Because I know, like as I be telling y'all, my dreams be filled with Islam, not the religion, the culture. So whether it's one of the dream characters is related to Islam, or it's me being in Detroit where Islam was started in America. Like Islam is a constant theme in my dreams. Like it's just, and it's been that way for years, ever since I started paying attention. And I know it has something to do with my past. Not even necessarily what's going on now. It just it's subconscious. Meaning our whole subconscious is stored within us, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So because Islam has been a part of my life the entire time, meaning I had uncles, father figures, I've been exposed to Islam my entire life. I didn't actually take my shahada till I was 15. Right, I was a teenager before I actually made a decision. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm in this shit for life. So because of that, because of the dedication, now my dreams reflect that. My dreams reflect, you can say, a decision I made at 15, and it still plays out. Things that I was witnessing before I was 15, it still plays out. And that's what makes dreams so important because it brings all time together as one. So you're looking at the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. And all ancestors are. Once you remove time, they're not even considered ancestors. We only call them ancestors because they relate to the past, but your ancestors also relate to the future as well because they have something to do with the future. Meaning the past influences the future like the future influences the past. See, these type of concepts, I guess, is more 4D. We have to go outside the clock to understand how that works, especially when we go to a point where time start moving in reverse. Once you hit a certain level, time actually moves in reverse. That's the whole law of reversal, which was revealed by Aleister Crowley. Like, there's a certain level where time moves in reverse. That's what we call the clip off. That's what we call the Citra Aqua. That's what we call the dark side. That's what we call the underworld when time is moving backwards. Meaning you're going towards your past instead of moving towards or forward to your future. So like, well, how the fuck does that even work, right? You see, it twists up your mind because it forces you to think in a different way. That's the whole purpose of it. So if time goes in reverse, does that mean that you're getting younger instead of getting older? I would think so because all of the elders that I see is fucking childish. Not childish in a bad way, but they're just gentle souls. Right? Meaning, like, if you are a real elder, you have like a childlike spirit because you ain't got to do nothing. You done already worked. You just chilling like a child is chilling, but you just have your memories, right? You have your experiences. You have your wisdom, right? And then they say, as you get older, it's like you have to be taken care of like a child again. So it's like you're actually going into the past. So your body is aging, but your mentality and your spirit is actually getting younger. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're supposed to maintain our spirit of youth. That requires you to go back in the past. That requires you to have a reset on your body. That's why we were doing, the fasting. That's why we changed our diet. You're doing all that to take your body back to the past where your body didn't have any ailments. So you have to reverse the damage. The damage, you don't just jump over the damage, you have to reverse. So basically you have to drive a car backwards. Right? But because we're so used to airplanes and we're so used to these other forms of traveling, we ain't really trying to move backwards. Like imagine driving in a car backwards for a long time. That's not necessarily ideal. But that's essentially what you have to do in terms of when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to we already know everything. We just have to remember that we know. So in order to access your memories, you have to go back into your past. You have to go into your subconscious to access your memories that we call the Akashic records. That's your memories. That's why they're called memory banks. That's why you have to work to maintain your memory banks. Because, as they say, if you don't use it, you will lose it. So that's why a lot of people, go through mental things and memory lapses as they get older. Because your memories are really all you have. If you were to forget all your memories, you wouldn't have an idea of who you are, what you're doing, or any nothing. Life would not make any sense if you were to delete your memories, the good, the bad, and the ugly memories. But we don't necessarily realize the effect that memories have on our consciousness. They have a very profound effect on our consciousness, depending on what you have experienced in your memories, whether in this lifetime or previous lifetimes, because a memory doesn't just tie you to this lifetime, the memory ties you to previous lifetimes. That's why it says time moving backwards. That's you utilizing your third eye to see how far or how far have I truly came, because there is no beginning or ending once you go outside of the clock. See, I guess that's one of the higher sciences, the higher mysteries is going beyond the clock, because that's really all people understand. That's why, again, all we do is work, right? We just work, work, work. You're looking at the time, the time, the time, the time. Even when you're not at work, you're still on the clock. I know I am. I'm like, I'm off today, but I'm still on the goddamn clock. I'm still looking at how many hours I have before I got to go back to that bitch. So I'm still aware of the clock. I still like, okay, I got to get certain things done in a certain amount of time. I'm still looking at that clock. So I have to go beyond the clock. And then I can do more creative things, right? What allows me to be creative is going beyond the clock. So that's why, like with my music and with the art and all that, I try to go beyond the clock. I try to give you some ancient energy, but I also try to give you the futuristic energy as well, just to take you beyond the clock. So that's why, even with these YouTube lives, I try to go beyond the clock. So I'm not just speaking about current events. I'm also speaking about past things, and I'm also talking about what will happen and what will occur, right? Depending on what's going on with the astrology. How can you break vows that were made in past lives that are affecting your current life? You just have to acknowledge, right? Let's say you were a nun and made a vow that is limiting your inhibitions, and you want to break that vow. You don't really have to look at it as breaking a vow. You just have to look at it as that's the next level. Look at it as the next level, meaning you take a vow just to break it in the end, right? Meaning, if a person gets married and then they take the vow till death do us part, did you break the vow because you died? Or did you just transcend to another level? For example, in your example, let's just say, yeah, in the past life, you were a nun. So in this life, you still have nun-like ways. Even though you're not a nun, you could say, have nun-like ways. However, you have to understand that some nuns are tantric. What I mean by that is, some nuns understand the sexual science, right? That's a higher level. What's up, Immortal 93? Not Immortal, Immortal 72, 93, excuse me. That's what the Lima taught me, to be completely honest. That's how I mixed the Islam with the Lima, right? Because according to Islam, it's about being righteous, right? So it's about being an upstanding person. And y'all see, I embody those characteristics anyway, right? Y'all just who know who I am, y'all already know how I am, right? We always talk about righteousness. We ain't doing nothing to make nobody else's life harder. Mind our own business, right? However, I understand that the Lima is a part of me as well. So the Lima is like the complete opposite of Islam, right? So even though Islam, you can say, is my past, Just using myself as an example, you see, I had to embrace the Lima. When the time came for it, I had to embrace the Lima, and I had to make the connection of what do these two things have in common that I'm not seeing it, right? Then I had to go beyond, okay, just because you're Islam doesn't mean you're a Muslim. Everybody who was a part of the culture of Islam is not a Muslim. You have Sufis out there. You have Shiites. There's different types. And then, the Nation of Islam, right? There are different types of Islam. So I just had to realize that, oh, the type of Islam that I'm into, you can say it's more Sufi. These are the ones that study the tantric sciences. These are the ones who are not bound by the religion of Islam because they are the religion. Religion just means time. You are the clock. The clock revolves around you, but we think we revolve around the clock. We control the time. The time doesn't control us unless we look at it that way. It's all about perception. You can even say, in a past life, you can say, I could have been a priest. Meaning you can say, this is just remnants of me doing priestly activity in the past life. That's why I probably even give a fuck about YouTube in this fashion. That's why I don't be busting jokes and doing all this other shit, right? This is probably from priestly energy from a past life. So instead of me looking like, okay, I have to break those vows, those priestly vows or those churchy vows, like actually, that's just the next level to it. So you're just evolving to the next level. You're not doing anything different. Meaning I still take those priestly vibes with me. Again, me being righteous, me, minding my own business, being humble, whatever. But then the Lima, I also have to fulfill my true will. So I can be priestly, I can be godly, I can be with all this other stuff. But I still have to fulfill my true will. So I still have to do things that may be against that. But it's not really against it because nothing is better than something else. That's what the book of the law teaches us, right? Don't honor one thing more than another thing. So it ain't for me to separate or make a decision. Either I go down this route or that route. That's what most people do. Either I'm on the right hand path or I'm on the left hand path. I told y'all about the middle. Go down the middle. That way you got access to both worlds. That's how you can be a priest and tantric, or a priestess and tantric. That's just the middle way. That's where you find the priestess. She is in the middle way. Look at the tree of life, look at the 13th path. You will find the high priestess or the priestess. That's where she is. She's between the worlds. If you look at every card, look at the tree of life and look at every path that is the middle path. You see that they have a dualistic expression. Under the high priestess, you have what is called the art card or temperance, which represents balance, balance between good and evil. One foot in this world, one foot out of this world. Then under art or temperance, you have the universe card, which is a woman dancing with a snake or an androgynous being, depending on what tarot deck you have. So it is basically representing masculine and feminine as one. Then the art represents the dark side and the light side as one. The high priestess, she knows how to play an instrument, but she's also an assassin. The same instrument that she produces wonderful tunes. If you just listen to her music, it's beautiful. But that same instrument she uses, she can use it as a bow and arrow and just kill you, and you wouldn't even know it. She knows how to utilize both sides. So that's how I look at it, right? So it's not ever about you having to break a vow. It's like you actually have to understand the deeper meaning behind the vows so that you don't feel like you're split between two paths or two worlds, because you're really not. You have to merge them. That's what the art card is about, right? Merging the two worlds into one. The middle way. Create a middle way. If there is no middle way, you have to create one. It may not already exist. You may be the creator of it. All right? So, but we already know that, none is actually a Hebrew letter called Nun. You think it's a coincidence? Nuns are noons. Noons is a Hebrew letter for Scorpio. which is the energy you tap into to go into your mysticism. This is the energy of the mystic. That's why a nun is like a mystic, a oracle, a medium, right? That is the energy of noon. That is the energy of Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. I would fucking know that, right? That's all I do, right? That's why I say I have like this priestly energy. It's really the energy of noon, the Hebrew letter noon. That's what really this is, right? So it's no coincidence that noon becomes none. That's just the energy of Scorpio. And Scorpio, as we know, also represents the energy of sex, right? So they get the mysticism part right, but then they try to ignore the energy of sex. That's all noon. That's all Scorpio. That's why Scorpio represents death. Death on the mystic level and death on a physical level. Death on a spiritual level. And then from the death, you are reborn. So hopefully that answers your question. Don't ever feel like you're split between the two. You have to keep traveling upward so you realize that these are merged. That's why, you know me. See, I still pop up on YouTube. And at this point, I don't have to, right? I can just go on, work my goddamn job, live a normal life. But I'm like, I'm also this. I'm not just that, I'm also this. And these worlds have to merge, right? It ain't for me to stop one and do one. See, that's the element I was missing before. Meaning I was just trying to be that. I was just trying to be Asha. Not realizing that Asha can navigate all the worlds. I don't have to just be in the underworld. I also have access to the heavens. Let me show and prove that, though. Let me not think this in my mind. Let me show and prove that I can actually get out of the underworld. Let me get from up under the pit. And then pretend to be normal, which is what I'm doing now. Somebody, if the average person looks at me, oh, this looks like a regular person, right? A working man. They don't know nothing about this occult shit, but it's there. It's just not front and center unless you can read auras and you can see within my aura, like, okay, this is crazy. But these are two worlds. The two must become one. Then the one must become none. That's how that works. The two must become one. The one must become none, which is the zero. Turn the two into a zero. Zero equals two. Right? Now we're talking about mathematics. So hopefully that makes sense. You have to merge the worlds together. Right? Merge them together. Which is really that's why I want to be the example. I'm doing it right now. Right? I'm in the world, but not of the world. Right now. Right? And then I told y'all, you know, let me be the example so that y'all know I'm not just a person that's just running my goddamn mouth. There's enough of that, right? There's enough of us just running our goddamn mouth. I'm like, no, y'all know, y'all can see I'm not just running my goddamn mouth, right? Everything I've been telling y'all, have I not been putting it into work? Have I not been putting it into action, right? Y'all remember the videos when I was talking about, okay, I'm about to get this job, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. Y'all remember when it was just a thought? Some of y'all have been around long enough. Y'all remember when I was just talking about this. Y'all remember the videos I was in the closet and shit? Y'all remember the videos in the closet? All right? Wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. It was like a month ago. It wasn't that long ago. Now I'm doing some whole other shit, right? I'm on a whole nother level, right? But I'm just showing that this is what we're supposed to be doing. The two must become one. One must become none. So instead of me just saying that, like, let me be the example so that we have some type of tangible, study. Let me be your study. Manifested for real, did a 180. That's what I'm saying. So imagine if I was just talking about that, but I wasn't living that out. That's why I got to do it. That's why I have to keep showing up. Right? Let me show you both sides. So y'all know all about the underworld. Now let me show you these heavens. Let me show you how the world works. I done taught y'all how the underworld works. Let me show you how the world works. Let me show you how to get ahead in the world now. Let me show you how to get the bag up now. Right? See, now we can start having different type of conversations now. We don't have to keep talking about the same stuff over and over. Now we're gonna have different types of conversations. Now I can give y'all a different type of insight that will be useful to you. Right? Because I know everybody ain't with that underworld shit. Some people start off as angels. So they have to master the underworld. They have to come into the underworld. But some people start off as demons and jinn, and they have to make their way to heaven, right? And that was more so my path, right? I always resonated with the jinn, even before I even knew that that's what they were called. But we also have archangels out there, right? The jinn are not the only energies out there. You also have energies that are less familiar to you, right? So that's why we be fucking with the archangels as well, right? So we're not choosing angels or jinn. No, we're working with both, depending on the circumstance. Depending on the circumstance, I will fuck with those jinn. I will fuck with those angels. I will fuck with those elemental spirits. So whatever that needs to be done will get done. So I guess that's what it means to be childlike at heart. That's the true example of being childlike at heart. Meaning you don't make judgments. You're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm above that." No, you're not. I work with angels. I don't fuck with demons. Those type of people, not balanced. That's not the purpose of the great work. But everybody's not here to do the great work. So you can actually just leave them alone. Everybody's not here to do the great work. That's why we're so misunderstood, because we're actually doing the great work. We're doing what nobody else feels that they can actually do. That's why people pick or choose. Either I'm in the underworld or I'm in the real world, right? So all these people working their jobs, they probably not YouTubers. They just get their goddamn check, enjoy their life, live their life, right? And which is just fine. How do I know that? Like anybody I be talking to about anything creative, they look at me like I'm crazy. If it's not business related, if it's not making money, right? If it's not making dollars and cents. Imagine me telling people, "Oh, I've been a content creator for 10 years." That shit, that's not their language. They don't even understand that shit. Like, oh, okay. They can't comprehend the amount of struggle and sacrifice that went into that. That doesn't even resonate to them. So this is how it is. However, because now that we're on the same level, now when I say it is different. You see how that works? Now when I say it is different. Now when I say I've been a content creator for 10 years, but then they see you doing something else. So now I'm not just a content creator. I'm also working. I'm doing both, right? It's like you said in the previous video, the great work is basically bridging the gap between the third and fourth dimension. Exactly. So yes, we're in 3D. We got to pay these bills, but we're also in 4D. That's where we build up our currency. That's where we build up our credit so that things can go fucking smooth for you. That's what people don't realize. You put in the great work so that shit can go smooth for you because you're building up credit. Just like in real life, when you have good credit, you can like not pay nothing, zero down. If you got good credit, zero down. That's how it works in the spirit world as well. You got enough good credit, shit that should have been hard is not gonna be hard for you now. How do we know that? Y'all know I've been walking around with no ID for years, right? Y'all know I ain't had an ID since like 2018. I ain't had an ID since 2018. Now I go to the goddamn DMV, do my fucking application and shit. They just give me the goddamn ID like this shit ain't they better struggle. They're like, oh shit, here, all right, and now you can see me. I'm not gonna show the ID, but here's the back of it, right? You can see my goddamn face. It says Nevada. I don't want to show the actual information here. Y'all get it. Got the goddamn ID, and I haven't even used it yet. That's the crazy part. I ain't had an ID in 5 years. I have one now, and I don't even. I haven't even used it. My ID has not been used. I have not pulled it out my wallet and had to show anybody the ID. It ain't even been used. It's just in the goddamn wallet. Right? It's just there sitting. Cause I'd have been so used to navigating the underworld. It's like I'm like, the fuck I need an ID for? I know I need one, but it's still I still ain't processed it. Like, okay, well, this is actually how you. That's like your ticket to the real world. See, I realize that now. I'm like, well, shit. Any business transaction, they're gonna be asking for that goddamn ID. You try to go buy a car, ID. Buy a house, ID. Even to rent a car, ID. To rent a room, ID. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess at some point I'll use it. But it took me years to even get to this level. Like, I actually do need one. I didn't feel like that the whole life for fucking years. I'm like, I'm about to figure out how to go into this underworld. I was just all about the underworld, right? Versus now, I'm like, all right, it's not that I'm not in the underworld. I'm just in 3D as well. So now I can do all type of 3D shit and 4D shit. And then that's when we get to 5D, which is basically where we're going now. That's how you get to 5D. When you combine 3 and 4. So that's essentially what I'm showing now. Because we have the same mentality, we're just doing different things in 3D. We got a 4D mentality operating within 3D. That's what we're doing right now, right? 4D mentality operating within 3D, which is what we're supposed to be doing. So that way you're able to do whatever you want on your own time, in your own space. So even if you're at a job, you don't feel like you're at a job. You're just doing whatever you want to do. Because once people realize they ain't really got to be on you like that, they ain't really got to tell you this and do that. People just give you your space, you know? Well, yeah, you clearly know what you're doing. You ain't even got to say 2 words to them. They already know what's up. So that's what it is, you know. Again, I'm not going to take up too much of your time here. So we on the 5D things, right? And in order to do 5D things, I got to do 3D things. What I mean by that is eventually I got to get a fucking passport, right? I've been telling y'all that shit, right? Eventually we going to have to go to fucking Egypt. We gonna have to go all over this goddamn planet, right? But in order for me to do that, I'm gonna need a passport. That's really why I got an ID, because you gotta send your goddamn ID to get a goddamn passport. So I probably would use a passport more than a damn ID, like just to be honest. So that's what that is. I'm like, let me get this ID so that they don't give me no issues when I go apply for that goddamn passport, which I will be doing soon, right? I just need to figure out what all they need. But I'm sure I got everything. I just think you just need the birth certificate, the social security card, and then your ID. I think I don't even think it's, but then they charge you extra if you want it like expeditiously. They charge you a lot of extra if you want it like I guess within 3 weeks or something. I'm like that's actually fast. Like, okay, we'll get it to you fast in 21 days, 21 fucking days. And that's supposed to be the express service. Anyway, there's no need to focus on that. But that's why I'm making these decisions that I'm making, right? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm paying all these goddamn bills to get this goddamn passport on point. Then just working this job to stack up these dollars so that when it's time to make these moves, they can be made comfortably. So it don't have to be stressful and tedious and all this extra shit. Cause I know all about that extra shit, right? Because when I didn't have the 3D in order, like everything just felt, it's just like you know what, fuck it. That's basically what it felt like. Oh, I gotta do this, and this. For example, the only reason I didn't have an ID for years is because it's a certain requirement. They're like, yo, your name got to be on this, your name got to be on that. You got to have this, you got to have that. Like, I didn't have none. I'm like, yo, you can't just ask to get your goddamn name to be put on a lease. Or, you gotta take over this bill, you gotta take over that bill. I'm like, oh. But as soon as I did that, then it's like, all right, well, shit, here's a damn ID. They just flung the ID at me like it wasn't nothing. But I had to go through these steps that I didn't give a fuck about years ago. But now I'm like, I only care because I have to care, right? I only care because I have to care. Why? Because when you're in the world, you got to follow the rules of the world. Meaning, all right, if I'm trying to get on the plane and take my ass to Egypt, that's going to require me to get a passport. You ain't getting to Egypt if you don't have a fucking passport. I'm like, if you don't want issues, all right? If you want to be comfortable there, then you're gonna have to have a goddamn passport. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, all right, do I really want to put myself through the stress of trying to get to these places without an ID? I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's highly stressful. You see what people got to do just to get into this country, America. People crossing through the border, the southern border, the journey that they have to take to even get to this country, ridiculous. I'm like, am I really trying to do some shit like that? Or do I just want to hop on a plane, show my goddamn passport, and that's it? That's also why I have this real ID. I just showed y'all that. You see, that's why they got this goddamn star. As you see this star, it's my image. See that star right there? That's the real ID. Meaning you need that just to get on the goddamn plane. Meaning they have the standard ID, but you can't get on the plane with a standard ID. You need a goddamn real ID, right? So I'm like, give me the goddamn real ID so that I can get my ass on the goddamn plane. Right? So I'm like, yeah, give me the max. Cause it's work that still need to be done. Right? There's things that still need to be done. We're not done. We're just getting started. We're just getting everything in order. We're gonna stack up, and then y'all gonna see some pretty amazing things, right? I'll start showing more than me just being in the damn bed. I'm just in the bed because I'm like, it's my only day off. But I still gotta do shit. I gotta buy some more goddamn sweatpants. There's still things to do, even on my day off. But again, normally I have 3 days off, only got one day off. So I'm gonna be right back up at 2 in the morning. Cause that's when my day starts, at 2 in the morning. I don't know what time your day starts, but it's probably not earlier than my day starts. That's what I feel like. Like I'm working harder than anybody in the goddamn building I work in. I'm working harder than anybody. Ain't nobody else getting up at 2 in the damn morning. They're not getting up at 2 in the morning. They're not getting less than 6 hours of sleep. That's my day every day, right? So I'm like, I'm putting in more work than anybody's putting in. But that's just because I'm already that type of person. It ain't because of the job. I was already putting in extra overtime. Y'all already saw me on YouTube doing these goddamn hour-long live streams, not hour-long, 5 hour, 7 hour, 9 hour. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck did I do that for? And it don't even be planned. I'm like, yeah, let me just knock this out. Right? So we done already broke records this year. The longest live stream was this year in 2023. So in the whole 10 years of YouTube, we broke the record in 2023 is a record breaking year, right? We breaking a lot of records, right? 2023, that's the energy of the six, that's the energy of Venus, which is a very earthly energy, right? It's the energy of the earth, the number six. So we're breaking a lot of records, and so I guess the goal would be for the remainder of 2023. So yeah, we're gonna definitely get that passport up, and we're gonna do some international travel. I would say that's, if you want to know what to look forward to in 2023, we at 100 minutes now. We're at 100 minutes. So again, if y'all have any other questions, just let me know. I'm not gonna be on here too long. I know I keep saying that. But the goal of 2023, we'll get the passport up, and we will do some international travels, right? Like I said, I want to take y'all to Egypt. I don't know what the fuck people be doing. People be traveling to places just to travel and shit. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, let me take y'all outside the pyramid. I feel like that's what we should be doing, right? Make sure to try to get the 5-star passport. Now they got levels of passport. See, you know more than me. Again, most of y'all probably know more than me when it comes to the 3D. I'll give y'all that. When it comes to this 3D shit, y'all say I don't even know. I don't know nothing about no 4-star, 5-star passport. I don't know nothing about that. Like I'm new to the 3D. I'm new to the 3D. I'm fresh out the underworld. I don't know nothing about that. I'll figure it out though. Eventually, I'm gonna have to figure it out, right? So, but again, y'all know more than me. Y'all know way more than me. I know. Again, y'all been doing this for a whole fucking time. It's people who was probably working when they first came into contact with my channel was already on the job. So, you know, that's why I have so much respect for y'all. You know, I have so much respect for y'all because y'all, y'all motivate me to be better because y'all like, regular shit. Like everything that I'm talking is regular to y'all. I'm like, regular. I'm like, oh, you working out, nice. Been doing that shit, whatever, right? Again, that's why I say I'm new. I'm like the baby. I'm the baby of the community now. I'm still taking little baby steps and shit. I know I was for sure working every day with our first founder. Oh shit. Hell yeah, right? And I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. Cause I understand it now. See, I knew it. I could say yeah, I respect it, but I get it now. I know how it is to come home sore now. I know how that is, or to come home mentally exhausted. I get that now, right? So I could say I got it before, but I couldn't relate. I'm like, I'm fucking over here just strictly creative. But I know y'all been putting in that work. So that's why, I'll be sure to take the time out, let you know that you appreciate it. For your 3D activities as well as your 4D activities, make sure that you're appreciated. Because I know, we don't just have people thanking us for the work we put in. So I want to thank you personally for the work that you put in for your city, for your family, for yourself. Keep putting in that work. Keep, putting in those hours. Because I'm going to be doing the same goddamn thing. And, it's going to lead us to magical places. We're just getting started. 2013, 60 hours, 21 days straight, only Sunday off in between. Yeah, you see, I'm trying to get to that level. See, that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to no days off, right? That's what I'm trying to get to no days off. So I still got where to go. So yeah, so y'all motherfuckers doing this, but to me that's just 93. Like we just do some extreme ass shit, right? To me that's fucking extreme. Yeah, I'm about to work 21 days straight. Yeah, that's seeing, but I'm like, I guess we're just pretty fucking extreme. I guess that's why we resonate, right? That's why y'all probably even gave a fuck about me in the first place. Like, all right, it ain't too much physical work being done here, but the spiritual work and the mental work, you can clearly see that was on point. It will continue to be on point. But let me actually, I've been talking for 100 minutes. And I ain't even touched this. All right? It's like I'm just waiting for some magical moment or some magical time. I'm really not. I just know that my energy changes when I do this. So I wanted to I wanted to give y'all my sober self. This is me sober, right? I just wanted to give y'all my sober energy because I may hit this and want to fucking talk about some crazy shit. So I just wanted to give y'all some sober talk first, some 3D talk before we got to 4D. All right. But I know, yeah, once this now we're talking 4D. So I'm like, all right, so let me do it. So y'all, I gave y'all my 3D plans. We're gonna get the passport up. We're gonna get over to those pyramids. Again, I don't know what the fuck other people are doing. Like people are going other places before they go to Egypt, which makes no sense to me. But again, take my words with a grain of salt. I don't feel like going anywhere else is more important than that. But that's maybe because I resonate with the Lima. So I'm like, all right, so I'm supposed to go to fucking Italy or somewhere before I go to Egypt. I'm supposed to go to fucking where else do people be going all over the damn place? Romania. Out there with the top G. I'm supposed to be out there with top G before I go to the pyramids. Well, no, that's just my mentality. I'm like, okay, that should be the first place I go. If I ever go outside this country, I need to take my ass to the pyramids. Then everywhere else can be, I guess, just for fun. But I guess you should touch your foundation first, right? Kemet makes more sense. Well, like Kemet is a mentality, right? So we can say, okay, the place was Kemet. No, it's Egypt. The place over there right now is Egypt. Kemet doesn't exist in 3D. It only exists in 4D, right? So that's why I'm saying Egypt. Like Kemet doesn't exist. What Kemet was, that's not what it is today, right? So modern day Egypt is not Kemet. It is only a shadow of Kemet. So we have to tap into the shadows to get to the real shit. So that's why I don't really put a lot of emphasis on like, okay, it's Kemet. Technically, yes, but then technically, no, right? You're not about to go over there and they about to teach you alchemy. You can't go to Egypt now and they just teach you alchemy. And you could go to Kemet and become an alchemist, right? So I'm just going off of what's happening right now. Kemet doesn't exist right now. It exists within here. It exists within us. So when we go to Egypt as Kemet, we make Egypt Kemet. And that's what we're doing, right? That's why we will go, right? When we step foot in Egypt now with Kemet, because real alchemists are not on the scenes, not just people who just going to visit. Oh, look at that, look at that. No, we ain't talking about all that. We're talking about putting in real work, like the Kemetic people put in that real work that we can still see to this day. Because people that just going over there visiting, they ain't putting in that work. We're looking at work that was put in thousands of years ago. We're looking at those statues, those monuments, those pyramids. That shit is thousands of years old, right? But they're energy portals. That's why they still exist. Exactly. This reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a limited Egyptian god card set. It all started with Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? That's what sparked my interest in Egypt, or my interest in alchemy, rather. You know, there's another word for it. Shadow alchemy. See, that's the original. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! It was called Shadow Alchemy. That's directly from the manga. If you read the original manga of Yu-Gi-Oh, they called it Shadow Alchemy, which is that's comedic. So I'm not even talking about the TV show. I'm talking about the original manga before Yu-Gi-Oh was even on TV. They called it Shadow Alchemy. So everything that was going on in Yu-Gi-Oh was called Shadow Alchemy. And I'm like, damn, that's we just say shadow work. So shadow work is really shadow alchemy, which comes from Kemet. So even what we're doing now is still Kemetic. That's why I say we are Kemet. Because everything that we were doing in the past, we're still doing now. We just use different terminology. We just use different words, but we're doing the same thing. So that's why when we pop up in Egypt, it's a whole different energy. That's why when Aleister Crowley popped up in Egypt, it's a whole nother energy. He went to Egypt and he met Awas. Everybody ain't going to Egypt and meet Awas and channeling the book of the law. That's not everybody's experience. But it was his experience because he was already Kemet. He was a top magician of his time. So when he stepped into Egypt, now the spirits of Egypt are like, yo, welcome home. That's the type of energy that we have to have. So when you step into these places, the ancestors say, welcome home. We see you've been putting in that work and you finally made it. Let's give you the game because you deserve the game because of the work you put in, not because you're just here trying to take pictures and shit, which is fine. You know, it's money to be made. It's tourism, but we're not tourists, right? So that's the difference. When we go to Egypt, we're not tourists. Anywhere in the world, where we go, we're not tourists. That's the difference, right? We don't do no tourist shit. We putting in real work the same way the ancestors did. We just continue the culture. We keep the culture alive. That's what we do. We keep Kemet alive, right? Exclusive on the website. You know, that's why I have the website, you know. And the website was established in what 2018. Y'all see. The website has been up since 2018, right? And it costs every month to keep that website up. Every month it costs. And y'all tell me how many months or how many times have you visited the website and it wasn't up? How many times have you visited the website and like, oh, well, the website hasn't been paid or some other shit, right? I'll give you a quick answer. It hasn't happened. So since 2018, and then the price just keep going up. I think originally it was like $10 a month to keep it up. Now it's like $15.99. Now it's 16. I'm paying $16 every month, and I've been paying that even before I had a job. Right? I've been paying that for what 5 years at this point. 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We got 5 years in. Right? Website been up. So that's why I keep it there, you know. It's a library. It's a library, you know. For those who are really training to be comedic for real, you know. Which, you know, everybody's not gonna do that. And that's not expected of everybody, right? That's why the people are called the chosen. You're not chosen because somebody pointed you out of the crowd. You're chosen because of the mentality you came into this world with. You came into the world as a old soul. You came into the world with a certain mentality. You already knew that there's something different about you. You may not know what that is. You have to learn yourself. But when you begin to learn yourself, you're like, okay, I see. We're just not from the same place. Because remember, Kemet is just a reflection of Sirius, the star constellation. So what we're really trying to reach is the Sirius star constellation. But before I even go to Egypt, I had to go to Washington, D.C. Because the Sirius star rises over the White House, for those who didn't know that, which is why the White House was built where it was built. So I know I'm saying a lot about Egypt, but really, America is the new Kemet. I would say America is Kemet. Egypt is not Kemet, but America is, because America is doing what Kemet did in the past, right? You gonna say the chat is silent. I think they're just listening, you know? They just listening, you know? Because if you take heed, then you like, oh, I may be the only one saying that, but it's the reality. The new Kemet is America. In terms of the most valuable company is Apple. All of these places that have the most innovation is in America. America is doing what Egypt was doing before, right? So truly, like if you're not in America, you probably would do better coming to America than actually going to Egypt if you really want the culture, because it's preserved through hip hop. And I'm not just talking about the music. I'm talking about the everything outside of the music, not rap essentially. So through hip hop, we preserve Kemet, right? That's obvious, right? If you are a real hip hopper, right? If you didn't grow up with this shit, if you are this, right? The seal on the back of the dollar bill, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. So if you really want a true test of Kemet, you got to come to America if you're not already in America. And if you are in America, there's certain places that you have to go to if you want to be reminded who you are. And these places are normally haunted, abandoned, or they're charging you a grip to go to these places. Or you just can't go to them at all. Like the Grand Canyon, there's certain areas you can't even go into. You can't go into the caves where the Egyptians was. You can't go to certain. They off limits. So the real culture is in America. It's just off limits. It's just off limits. You're not allowed to see it. And if you are allowed to see it, it's because you were chosen to see it. And it ain't because of something you've done. It's just because of who you are. That's what people have to realize. It's not even about your acts. It's about your bloodline. It's not about your acts. It's about your bloodline. People treat you in accordance to your bloodline. They're not doing it on purpose. This is just how the world works. Especially in the East. In the East, your last name is more important than your first name in the East. In the West, your first name is more important than your last name. Because in the West, we're not necessarily that much family orientated, right? We be our own family be trying to take our heads off. And the East is a little different. The only thing that matter is your ancestry, your family, what bloodline you come from. They take that shit seriously. We don't really take it that seriously here because we have so many self-made people. We don't really like all these people that come from broken homes and shit. It's like that type of energy. It don't really. I'm not saying it's the people's fault. This is just what it means to be in America, to be in hell on earth. All right, it's hell on earth because the root chakra is here. For those who think I'm going in a different direction with that, but we are in the underworld. America is in the underworld, is in 4D. That's why we see a lot of 4D shit happening here. We are in 4D, but we're clearly still in 3D. But we have opened up portals to 4D. That's why 4D shit happens. Right? That's why 4D shit happens here. We have opened up those portals. That's why everybody in the world brings a motherfucking ass over here to get a part of that. People come here from all over the world and send money back to where they came from, right? So if you really want to know Kemet, then you got to come here. And if you are here, you have to learn the American culture. Meaning, there's a reason why we're so fascinated with guns, for example. Everybody want to talk about all the mass shootings and killings and the black on black, the white on white. Of course, they don't talk about the white on white, but they never tell you the source. There are more guns than people here. What's our fascination with guns? These are just questions that you will always hear about on the news. You will always hear about the media. They just always talk about the problem, but they never tell you why it exists. That's what you have to figure out on your own. Why does it exist? Right? Why do we worship guns like gods? Is a gun a god or even a goddess? Because we give it that level of worship, right? All these fucking rap videos, you're seeing guns. See, we think, like, okay, we worship money. You're probably seeing more guns than money, or like it's equal. There's about 8 to 10 guns per capita. All right then. All right. Not telling y'all no lies here. It just is what it is. Clearly, we worship weaponry. So wouldn't that make us warriors with a warrior mentality? So that would mean like we're a warrior class, huh? Everybody feel like they gotta have a gun here. Is it just that fucking dangerous? Or is it a form of worship? See, I'm gonna ask you the questions that other people just not gonna ask. Do people really feel that unsafe? Or is it just a form of worship? Do you really feel unsafe? If you are in America, do you really feel that unsafe? See, now we're talking about some people have guns in their homes, but then you have people who take the guns outside of the homes. There's people who wouldn't even feel safe without a gun on their person. Is America really that dangerous that you feel like you have to have one of those? No matter where you go, no matter what time, like that's a part of your uniform. Some people feel like that. The question is why? Is it because it's just that dangerous, or is it a form of worship? Especially when we're hearing the music, right? All we're talking about is fucking doing damage to each other with weaponry. When I see you, I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that to you. That's all we're talking about, right? Why do we have nothing else to talk about than the damage we can do to each other? Are we really just that violent of a society, or is it a form of worship? Exactly, guns and Bibles. That's America. I'll smoke to that. I guess I will vape to that. Guns and Bibles. If you can unlock that code, you will win here. You will win in America. You unlock that code, guns and Bibles. That's a master key right there. I don't want to do too much because this shit will have me choking. But yes, if you unlock the mysteries of that Bible and you understand the God behind the gun, oh, you cooking now. Who is the God of guns? Mm. And who is the God of the Bible? Some people say it's Yahweh. Some people say it's Jesus. Some people say it's God. We get all type of mysterious answers. Nobody can give you a straight answer because they don't want you to know. You think it's bad to work with the Ouija board? You may not. You must not have heard my most recent song. Have you heard my song? What is it called? I just put the song out. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't even remember the name of the song. Damn, I don't even remember my most recent song, whatever the fucking name it is. One of the lines is Kundalini Genie, that's if you can even see me. Cause I spent up all my time talking to the Ouija. I literally say that. I literally say that in my most recent song. I don't even remember what it's called. I got my eyes in dimensions you ain't never seen. From the Philippines to the Hiroshima. I'm a witness independent from the false regimes. Call me Demon King with I don't even know what it's called. Whatever that song is called, that's just how detached I am. I'm like, I don't even remember what the fuck it's called. No, it's not So Wheezy. That's the one before. That's the one before the one I just released. I don't even remember. I don't remember the title of it. I'm not even about to try to think about it either. Y'all should have already heard it. It's like 2 videos back. So it's like two videos back. But yeah, I talked about the Ouija. So to answer your question, do you think it's bad to work with a Ouija board? No. Just know what you're fucking with. No, it's not called Demon King. I don't remember what it's called. I don't know. I will have to look at the actual video. I don't even remember what it's called. I can check. Give me a second. Hold on. If I can find my, I have to find my other phone. Hold on. Hold on. I should already know this stuff. I don't even know. Oh, here it is. I should already know this stuff. It seemed like I did that so long ago, though. Let's see what it is. Okay, what is it? Oh, yeah, Royal Flush. That's what it's called. It's called Royal Flush. I couldn't think of that for nothing. Yeah, yeah, this one. Anyway, so yeah, it's called Royal Flush. So I just said that line. So you just have to know what you're fucking with. Meaning, it's a real spirit, it's a real energy. Now the relationship you have with it is based on your own intention, right? Well, that goes for any spirit, that goes for any deity. Your relationship with that energy, that spirit, is based on your intention. It's based on what's in your heart. It's based on the contents of your own heart, right? Because again, everybody doesn't have a clean heart. Everybody doesn't have a pure heart. Some people are just on some other shit, right? So I don't really consider anything bad or good. It's about the intent. So what makes something bad or good is the intent. You know, that's why they say no one sin is greater than another sin because it's just the intent, right? It's all about your intentions. That's what's more important. It's about the intent. So that's how you can work with demons and have positive results, or work with angels and have negative results. It's about your intent. Yeah, this is just convenient though. I can just light this shit up in a store anywhere, be in fucking Walmart or something. Be at Walmart. It's just so fucking convenient. It's just so convenient. Ask permission, and if it's okay, I say go for it. It's not really about permission. It's not really about permission. It's about energy. It's about what are you willing to give to get what you're desiring. What are you willing to give? That's why I say it's about intent. What are you willing to give? If you want this wisdom that they have, because clearly people have a reason to work with these energies. If you want what they have, what reason should they give it to you? It's just like dealing with a human being, honestly. It's like dealing with a human being. It's like, of course, they know why you working with them. It's like, let's just say anybody of wealth, they know that most people are trying to get at their wealth. So whether that wealth is in resources or wisdom, whatever it may be, right? Everybody's trying to get something from these people, right? The demand is always there. It will always be a demand. It's just about what do you have to offer? that most people seem to miss. Because obviously you can't give spirits money, right? You can't give them. Really can't do anything with them physically. So what could you actually give a spirit that's not physical? See, these are the questions that you really have to ask yourself whenever you open up those portals, whenever you open up those gates. Because this is energy that you have to deal with. So they hold you to your word, in other words. They will hold you to your word. And if you don't fulfill it, then they taking it. But just like anybody else would, though. That's not exclusive to spirits. That's also on a human level. You promise somebody money and you don't come through with it, then they're going to have a problem with that. Because you gave your word that you would actually give them that. So that's why I say intentions are important. Intentions are important because it's based off of your word. You must keep your word. Most people are not keeping their word because they're just lying and deceiving and tricking to get by. Spirits don't really fuck with that energy. Just in case you didn't know, spirits don't really fuck with that energy, right? When you got to do all this extra shit just to get ahead or get above the next person. See, a lot of people that's ahead or above is because they doing all type of tricky shit, right? You come to spirits with some tricky shit, it's not gonna be good for you. If you come off with spirits with tricky shit, it's not gonna be good. Like they don't know what you're doing because they have existed before you. So what the fuck could you possibly do that they don't see, right? But people be thinking they can outsmart spirits. That's what I mean by intent, and that's why certain people get fucked up. You thought you was gonna outmaneuver a spirit that's ancient, or you thought you was about to request something, and then they just give you that wisdom, and they're just for nothing. A human being wouldn't do that. So what makes you think a spirit would do that? If a human being is not just gonna give you something for nothing, then what make you think a spirit is? That's why you have to build up your spiritual credit. That's why I always emphasize building up your spiritual credit. Because when it comes time to do business, when it comes time to do transactions, you actually have some type of currency to exchange. Because you done been building up your currency. What I mean by building up your currency is putting in the spiritual work. Spiritual work is the great work. The great work is working with the dark side and the light side. Right? Solomon controlled demons. No, Solomon Suleiman controlled the jinn. It's a big difference. Do not confuse demon with jinn. Suleiman, which is his Arabic name, controlled the jinn, not demons. There's a big difference between demons and jinn. You could say a demon can be any vice. That's why I say, well, people got demons in them. They're talking about vices, right? So anything can be a fucking demon, but anything can't be a jinn. They ain't saying, oh, okay, oh, that person has a jinn in them. You don't hear people talking like that because a jinn is not a vice. A jinn is talking about something specific. It's talking about a specific magical warrior. That's what I'm talking about. So it's not demons. A demon doesn't necessarily have to abide by any rules and regulations, but the jinn do. They actually have rank. That's why you have presidents, and from there you go down. Dukes, presidents, dukes, so on and so forth, right? They have rank. So they have to fall in line. So that means they're not just doing whatever they want. There is some law and order there. That's another thing about the jinn. Like there actually is law and order. They're not just doing whatever they want or just trying to capitalize off of somebody else's shortcomings or preying on the weak. That's not what the jinn does. A jinn doesn't prey on the weak. A demon may prey on the weak, because the demon is just trying to get their next fix, like somebody else is just trying to get their next fix. A jinn ain't worried about a fix. A jinn, you can say, is like you. Yes, the jinn are the 72 Goetia. Yes, those. That's why they call it Goetia, to throw you off. That's why they call it that. Because when you say Goetia, like, what the fuck does that mean? That doesn't resonate with anything. That doesn't bring up a image in your mind. But when you say jinn, that's taking you to a genie type being. Like, oh, you're talking about the genies. So when you say demon, demon don't mean genie. Demon is actually a variation of daemon, which actually meant deity. Versus jinn, that's taking you directly to what you're really talking about. All right. So if you're really talking about the jinn or those genies, and you see with genies, it ain't a level of asking permission. You're not asking them permission because it's business. Do you got to ask permission to do business? When you walk into 7-Eleven or McDonald's, Walmart, wherever it is, do you have to ask, can I shop here? No, you don't. You don't have to ask, can you shop? You just pick up whatever the fuck you're looking for, and then you pay the price at the end, and you leave. It's a business transaction, right? The spirits are not really much different than that. It's not really much different. As long as you have the currency, then negotiation can occur. Some people like to learn from spirits. People are not necessarily just trying to have physical results. Some people are just learning wisdom, which is basically what I did. I'm like, I ain't really worried about the physical representation, aka manifesting, right? I'm like, let me get this wisdom. Then I can manifest on my by myself. I don't have to call on a demon every time I want to manifest. That's basically what I wanted to avoid that, right? Okay, so every time I get in the jam, every time I get into something, now I'm calling on something else. I'm like, that takes away the power from me. Versus, I need to learn how to do this myself. To the point where now, when I do business with a jinn, it ain't because I don't know how to do it myself. I'm really coming to learn. How do you do what you do instead of me asking you to do what you do? Hopefully, y'all understand the difference between the two. Hopefully, you understand the difference of someone teaching you how to fish versus them having to get the fish for you. So that means every time you're hungry, now you have to ask somebody else to get the fish for you. So what do you do when that person isn't there? Or when that person raises up the prices? Because they're in control of the price, because they have the actual talent. Versus you actually learn how to do what they do. So whether they're there or not, you're still going to eat. And then you're not eating based off of the favors of others. So now every time you eat, when you're asking someone else to fish for you, now they're basically just doing you a favor. But then when they see that you're dependent on that favor, now they can manipulate that. Like, okay, this person doesn't eat if I don't give them a fish. So let me try to get more out of them because I know that they're going to submit to their hunger, which is the purpose of fasting. Because when you fast, you don't crave food. So when you're not in a state of craving, your thoughts become clear. And when your thoughts become clear, you become open enough to learn instead of you're just thinking about the end result. I need this, I need that. You actually learn the game. Well, how do I get
to a place where I know how, for example, there are certain jinn that cause love between man and women, for example, right? But the wisdom behind that is how do you do it? Because if you have to call on this jinn every time you want that done, it comes at a cost. Like the genie says, you got three wishes. At the three wishes, I'm out. So you have to be very wise in what you ask for because you have a limited amount of asking because it's coming from their power, not your own. So when you have enough power to take on wisdom, because that takes mental fortitude, it's not easy to learn a whole skill set or a trade, and you're definitely not going to learn it overnight. So that's going to require dedication, right? So what can I give a gen that they don't already have? So that's why I'm getting you to think about this stuff. If you truly are trying to work with these energies, this is how you have to think, because you're right. So you have to, you really have to know, but better to understand. You just broke down where exploitation comes from, people's vices. These lessons are found in Outwitting the Devil, because where do you think they came from? So yeah, a lot of what I talk about is in these older books, but where do you think they learned it from? Because if I'm saying the same thing that they said, and we're talking about it's 100-year difference, then what is a common denominator between what was going on in the 1920s and 30s and what's going on in 2030, 2020? How am I saying what they were saying 100 years ago? And I never even read that book. And if I did read that book, I definitely wouldn't be repeating it word from word, right? But I read Think and Grow Rich, but I haven't read Outwitting It though. Also, Napoleon Hill, since you're bringing him up, he never actually revealed the secret. That's the funniest part of all this. All these people who talk about manifestation and law of attraction, do people not realize he never revealed the actual secret? People just went with, okay, you have to think positive. All he was doing was referencing the law. He never revealed it. If you read Think and Grow Rich, which everybody said they did, then you would know that already. He never revealed the law. He just hinted to it. So everything that he was talking about was not the actual law. He just referencing it, but he's not telling you it. So all that he was talking about the 16 laws and having a positive, vibration. None of those were the actual law. Those are just the results of the law. But he never revealed the secret. So truly, the secret's never been revealed. That's why a lot of people don't manifest. They have problems manifesting all that because the secret was never revealed. They just went. That's why they call it the secret. That's a fucking scam. Yeah, I'm the one that said it. Nobody else will say it, but I will. The secret was never revealed. Got people thinking that, okay, I got to think positive. I got to be focused. I got to be dedicated. Yeah, you should do those things. But to say that that is the secret itself is untrue because it was never revealed. So what the secret did, the book as well as the movie, they just took the perspective of this is the secret when it never was. The secret has yet to be revealed because when it is revealed, it goes over people's heads. They don't even realize it hit them because when you read the book, it's revealed to you. It just goes over your head. You're like, oh shit, there it is, but you don't have that type of reaction. It's the same thing like reading the Bible. You're gonna read it, but your reaction to it is gonna be different than the next person because it's based on your level of wisdom. You may be able to extract wisdom from a verse that somebody else can't, because it's based on your level of wisdom. So the secret has never been revealed. So going back to the initial question of what could you, what can you give spirits that they don't already have? And you're just asking the question of, for example, if we look at, let's just say Elon Musk. What's up, non-ether? Peace. If you look at Elon Musk, he's supplying services. For example, he's supplying Twitter, SpaceX, the Tesla, the car company, right? He's doing things that people invest into. This is where investing comes from. You're not buying, you're investing. What's up, an unexpected friend? Peace and love. When it comes to spirits, we have to reverse it. You're not buying anything, you are investing. Everything is an investment, so you're never making a purchase. And anybody who's treating spirits like they're just making a purchase, that's why they don't get the results that they're looking for. Or they get disrespected by the spirits. Like, yo, what the fuck? I don't have no product. That's human shit. I got the wisdom, though. And in order to get this wisdom, it's gonna require an investment. It's not like a course. Like you would pay somebody else. You pay other people for a course. It's just not something you pay and you buy. This is what you invest into. Meaning when you make an investment, it's supposed to give you more than what you put in. If you made the correct investment, it should give you more than what you gave. I'm just giving you an idea of how the spirit actually works and how it became investing in the stock market and everything that we do on the earthly level. Nobody created this shit. It already existed. We just figured it out over time. We had to understand the spirit first because all of our ancestors understood the spirit. That's why they called them foolish and dumb. Now that we're all about science and mathematics, now we're smart. But in order to be smart, we had to understand the foolish. In order to understand the tangible, we had to understand the intangible first. And that's the work that the ancestors put in. That's why we have the occult. That's the work they put in to help us to understand the intangible. So that when we go to the tangible, it makes fucking sense to us. The stock market doesn't even make sense to a lot of people because they don't understand that these are spiritual laws that's being applied in a physical form, in a physical environment, or a digital environment because everything is digital at this point, right? So the reason I brought up Elon Musk is, can you buy a Tesla from him? Technically, yes. But that's not what most people do. Most people just invest in Tesla, right? Most people are not rolling around in Teslas. Most people are invested into Tesla. And when Tesla is doing good, their money goes up. When it's not doing so good, their money goes down. So because they are share owners, they are entitled to dividends. You get certain dividends. You get certain benefits when you are a stockholder, a share owner. You get certain benefits for that. right? For those who understand the stocks, you understand what I'm talking about here. For those who understand crypto, you should understand what I'm saying. This all comes from the spirit world. Nobody's going to tell you that, but I can tell you because I'm like, oh, I see the connections here. That's why, you don't have a lot of people like me that's going from the spirit world to the real world and putting the two together. They just like to stay on in their own lane. Why to confuse you? If science is still over here and the occult stays over there and they never merge together, when the two never becomes one, then one can never become zero, which is the totality of it all. It is all interconnected. So, if you can understand how stocks work, you can understand how spirits work. It isn't about investments. The investment is okay. You're going to invest in me. Of course, we're not talking about with money. That's the difference between the stock and the spirit world, the real world and the physical world. In the real world, you use money, but what do you have to do to earn the money, right? So you got past the veil in meditation. Somebody asked me how to work with spirits, and I'm answering the question, and I'm just using real life examples to answer the question, right? If you can understand stocks, you can understand how spirit works. If you can understand how credit works, you can understand how the spirit works. This is a credit system. How do you earn credit? By making long term investments or payments, right? Meaning you pay your monthly credit card bill. So you're not just paying everything off necessarily, you're paying your credit card bill so that your debt is null and void. You keep up with your payments until it is paid off. Meaning, if you can comprehend, okay, well, what was, okay, I'm using money as an example. I'm doing the same thing Napoleon Hill does, where you see how I'm talking about money, I'm talking about stocks, I'm talking about investments. I'm using tangible terms to explain something that's not tangible. So I never actually spoke directly about the intangible, but I'm just using money as a metaphor. That's what he did. Everything was a giant metaphor to help you to understand how the spirit works. But the spirit was never referred to directly, it was only referred to indirectly. So, law of exchange. Law of exchange is not a real law. If anything, you're talking about the law of correspondence. The law of exchange will come from the law of correspondence, where everything is interconnected. What goes on above us has something to do with what goes on below us or right in our face. Would you really call that an exchange? Are you exchanging energy with the planets? Because they clearly have an effect on our consciousness, on our whereabouts. What's up, May 93? Just asking y'all these questions so that you can begin to comprehend how you will go about working with the spirit. The law of correspondence tells us as above, so below. What's happening in the celestial plane will have an effect on the earthly plane. Is that because we are exchanging energies with these planets? Or are we all a part of a bigger system? That's what we're really exchanging with, that we call the source. I see that if you learn how spirit works, you can skip college because it's the same stuff. Yeah. Yeah, if you plan on being self-made, you plan on being independent, going, doing your own thing, then yeah, you definitely should not be in college. You should definitely learn the occult because yes, it is the same thing. It's just a big metaphor. Can you put the metaphors together? Because yes, it's one big system just utilized in different ways. One system is using money, another system uses another thing. One system is physical, another system is digital, but it's based off of the same law or the same source. Because that's where I was going with it. Are we exchanging energy with the planets, or are we exchanging energy with the source? Just like the planets are exchanging energy with the source. That's how the planets stay in orbit. That's how everything stays within law and order. Your life can be chaotic, but if you look at the Earth from outer space, it seems pretty peaceful. So what does that tell you? If you can figure that out, then it make this all this will make sense. Your life can be a living hell. But if a person was looking at the Earth from outer space, they wouldn't see none of it. They would see a peaceful planet. They would think the Earth is probably the most beautiful thing they ever seen. But you're going through hell. People are getting shot, killed, any ill or negativity you can think of. All that shit is happening, but from outer space, you don't see any of it. This is how working with you have to approach working with the spirit like that. Approach working with the spirit as if you were in outer space, looking towards the earth and the perspective that it would give you. What perspective would you have of the planet if you was looking at it from afar through a telescope? You ever tried to read the Zohar? I got the Zohar. I have a Zohar. You know, I have a physical copy of the Zohar. So yeah, I have it literally. I can grab it right now. So yes, I definitely I own a Zohar. Because I'm always into the Hebrew. So I like to use it as an exercise. To learn the letters and all that. Not to learn the letters, but to put the combinations together. It's just a bunch of combinations, and then make sense out of it. That's what I love about the Hebrew. So even if you can't read it, you can't pronounce the words, just the combinations of letters give you an idea of what's being conveyed. So if you can understand the combinations of letters, then you can get a perspective of what's being said without actually having to read it. Do you understand all of it? No, I don't speak Hebrew, and really don't nobody speak Hebrew. The Hebrews or the Jews, they speak Yiddish. So it's not, I don't think it's anybody who actually speaks Hebrew. But it's not read like that. The Zohar isn't it's not like a story. It's not written in story form. Like if you read the Zohar, it's more of an inspirational book. It's more poetic. It's not like a big science book or a mathematical book. It's more like poetry that inspires you. So that's how you have to approach the Zohar. It's like being inspired by poetry. Not that the poetry has depth to it, but it's not talking about the depth. It's talking about the poetry. That's another way to understand the law of attraction, like how poetry can help you to understand things that were, if it was explained to you mathematically or scientifically, it wouldn't resonate. But if somebody was put it into musical form, it actually, you're like, oh, I see what's going on. Somebody had to use poetry to help you comprehend things that were not poetic. That's why poetry has such a powerful hold. That's why everybody is what listen to poetry. They call it rap. I be seeing all type of people at work listen to rap that don't look like me. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Like, I would never thought that you would be listening to this type of music because it's poetry. Poetry, low level poetry, but it's poetry nonetheless. Through poetry, we can comprehend higher sciences. Same thing with Alistair Crowley. The reason why a lot of people don't comprehend Aleister Crowley because he wrote in the language of poetry. And when you read what he has to say, it's poetic. He's not talking to you like a scientist. He's not talking to you like a mathematician, like a researcher, like any or a scholar. He can be considered all of those things, but when you read the literature, it's poetic. The true meaning is, you could say, disguised in poetry. It's a metaphor that you have to be able to sense. That's how people are able to put rhymes together, right? That's why that's a essential form of hip hop. Those lyrics, those rhymes. How can you disguise truth? It's not about just saying it. It's about, can you say it indirectly? Anybody can say anything directly. That's why everybody just gets on YouTube Live, Twitch, Twitter, and just speak their mind. Anybody can speak directly, but not everybody can speak metaphorically. That's why music is timeless, right? It's because of the way that they was able to put those metaphors together. That's what makes it timeless. Like, God damn, how did you put that together? It don't even make sense. That's what poetry do. When the last time you read a mathematical book or a scientific book was like, God damn, the way they explained that was stellar. You don't have that type of reaction because it ain't. That shit wasn't hard. That shit was just technical data, just recorded. Versus, you actually create an album of music, and the songs are actually 3 minutes long. So in 30 minutes, you can explain the secrets and the science of the universe with somebody who wrote a 600-page book. How many people actually understand that? I actually have a hard time speaking directly actually, because you may be a poet. That's why. It ain't for you to speak direct. It's for you to speak indirectly. Peace, Asha, salute. What is the name of the book that tells you which spirits are connected to the different kinds of alcohol? I have no clue. I have absolutely no idea. That's an interesting book, though. Like, what spirits are connected to the different types of alcohol? Well, I guess as a non-drinker, that's probably why I don't know that. I'll tell you, I have no idea. Just good, but I'm not a drinker though, so I guess alcohol wouldn't. But that is alchemy though, so I get it. Alcohol is a form of alchemy. But to say what book is tied to spirits and alcohol, I have no idea. I have no idea. But I don't think it's that hard to find though, because I don't think there's that many books with that type of subject matter. So it shouldn't be that hard to find. You know, it is interesting though, because that is a true form of, like, if you worked with every spirit, they would give you like a different kind of alcohol. Meaning that's a way for you to understand spirits. Like, they all have a particular taste. It's like drinking alcohol and like the different flavors. The same way you can tell the difference between vodka and tequila. That's how you can distinguish what spirits are and what they do. They also have a certain smell. So you can say they have a certain taste, they have a certain smell. That's how you can distinguish who they are and what they do. Because like for example, when you smell flowers, it gives you certain imagery, certain visions that are pleasant. But then you smell like gasoline, it gives you a different type of effect. So if you okay, certain spirits are connected to that flower scent, certain spirits are connected to that gasoline scent, then certain spirits are connected to that weed smell. Then you're like, oh, okay, you can kind of distinguish what these particular spirits do based off of the smell that they generate, or the odor or the taste. They may give you a certain taste on your tongue, right? What's up, Luciferian Jesus lover? Yeah, I just popped up shortly. I ain't been around for a minute. This shit is crazy. Like you, it don't even feel real. Like I'm fucking busting out 60 to 40 hours of work every week. That shit don't even feel real. It still, I guess it still hasn't even connected with me yet. I'm like, damn, I actually do have a job that I go to all the fucking time. Right, my father was into Daniels and Bacardi, rum specifically, and I want to know which spirits resonate with that. I would say you can definitely figure it out. Like if you don't know, like for example, how did the person figure it out who wrote the book? Well, we have to ask ourselves those questions. How did the person figure out who wrote the book? How did they find out? You just have to do the same thing that they did to figure out what they figured out and put in a book form. You have to. Now, I'm not saying that you would know what they did, but there is a way to figure it out. You just have to have personal experience. That's why this personal experience is the best teacher. Meaning you have to personalize the occult anyway. Everything is just a big metaphor until you personalize it. Just like Scorpio, for example. We all have an idea of what Scorpio means: death, rebirth, sex, genitals. But those are just metaphors. It's not until you actually meet a Scorpio that you see like, oh, this is more than just these keywords. And that goes for any sign. All right, that goes for anything. Everything is a bit metaphor until you actually interact with the spirit or the energy personally. Right? Yeah, Scott Cunningham, that's a good author, for people who are into witchcraft and Wicca. So if you into witchcraft and Wicca, definitely Scott Cunningham. The Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. That'd be a good source for people that's, into the herbs and, the magical connections, you know. So, yeah, I be on my literature. Well, of course, I don't know all things. I just know the deepest and darkest things. Like, so if you ask me anything like that gray area, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about that. But if you ask me about the dark or the dark, then I'm like, yeah, I can tell you about that. It's just personal experience, though. Not because I read a bunch of books. I have read a bunch of books, but I think I got more personal experience than book time. But maybe I should get some alcohol. That shit is crazy. I'm not used to buying my own alcohol. Cause again, I didn't have an ID card, so I couldn't even buy alcohol, right? But I actually could buy alcohol if I wanted to. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm still catching up. Cause even though I say like, I'm not a drinker, but again, this is coming from somebody who wasn't buying their own alcohol. So who knows when I buy my own alcohol? I think I like tequila. That's the only thing I know about alcohol is I like tequila. I need to try Patron. I need to try Patron. Those are the next spirits that I want to work with. I want to work with the spirits of Patron because I like the tequila. The tequila actually gives me a buzz. Like the vodka doesn't really give me a buzz, but the tequila I'm like, oh, okay, I see why people like alcohol. See, tequila gave me that understanding. See, I had knowledge, but tequila, I'm like, oh, I see why people drink. See, I didn't realize it until I had some tequila. I was drinking all this other stuff, the white liquor, like the vodka, the brown rum, but it's like that shit wasn't doing nothing for me. I'm like, I'm not getting intoxicated. It just tastes nasty, strong for no reason. But as soon as I hit that tequila, I felt it immediately. Immediately, I'm like, oh, this is what people feel. It's just that different things affect different people, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So the same way I'm feeling off of the tequila, somebody else could be feeling that off of the vodka or the rum or whatever else they drink, because everybody's built differently. So I'm like, oh, okay. I see why people drink now. See, I didn't know that until I discovered tequila, and of course, I wasn't really ever into alcohol. So, I'll be the person judging people drinking. I'm like, these motherfuckers is all original. I'm like, oh, I get it. If I can feel like that every day, I'll probably be drinking fucking too. I'm like, I get it. I just had to discover that. That was something I had to discover on my own. That nobody could have told me that. Cause I just would have went off of yeah, I went before, but it didn't do nothing for me. I would just still be going off of that same process and tell me, okay, yeah, let me take a sip of that tequila. I hate tequila. Vodka is where it's at, and I understand that because I'm like vodka wasn't doing anything for me, but my mother drinks vodka, so I completely understand. My mother drinks vodka. She ain't really into tequila like that. So I'm like, I don't know why I am. I'm like fucking tequila. It may be my Latin origins. That's the only thing I can think of. Again, I have a Latin name. My birth name is Latin. Exactly. That's why they call spirits. So I think those Latin spirits open up something within me that has to be cultivated. That's how I interpret it. Because I've been, giving energy to Asha. I've been giving energy to Aman Asha renewal, right? I've been giving energy to the Egyptian stuff, the Delemic stuff, the Kemetic stuff, the occult, right? So that's solidified. But then when I drink that goddamn alcohol and remind, like, you know, you do have Latin origins. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, oh, I can't argue with it because that shit got me feeling some type of way. I'm like, damn, I don't know what alcohol does to other people, but these are the type of thoughts I start having when I drink alcohol. I start having these type of thoughts. I'm like, damn, I have not been cultivating my Latin energy. I need to. I need to learn Spanish and all type of shit. I'm like, damn, I do need to learn Spanish. I do need to, strengthen my Latin roots and, have more communications with the Latin people. The job also gives me the ability to do that. Even this is from a Latin person, right? They're like, yo, you should try this. You may need it. I'm like, I'm trying to be sober right now. He like, you're gonna need this. I'm like, oh, he was right. So this is definitely from the Latin side of things. But again, that's just me. All right, everybody's gonna have their own different connection because we all come from different energies. We all come from different bloodlines. So really, what we're doing is just activating our bloodline. That's the purpose of doing anything occult is you just remembering your bloodline. You doing certain things to activate your bloodline. That's why certain people like certain foods. That's why it don't matter, how much diet, your diet can be superb. But certain foods open up certain doors to certain spirits. I know that because I had a fucking spiritual experience after eating some goddamn chili fries. One of my most profound dreams that I've told here before happened after I ate some goddamn fries, some chili fries. Something that I didn't even care to eat. I'm like, because I wasn't, I didn't want just the meat. Basically, it was chili cheese fries, right? It was chili cheese fries. I don't like cheese, so I'm like, remove the cheese. Just put some onions and tomatoes on it. So it was just fries with chili, tomatoes, and I think onions. Yeah. I ate that shit and had a spiritual experience. And this is coming from a person that don't really eat too much meat. I may eat it every now and then. But again, y'all see what the fuck I got right here. See what the fuck that say? Fucking granola. Protein granola. That's what I'm eating. Protein granola. The fuck I'm eating. See what plant and rice, 100% plant based. Right? So what the fuck I be eating on? Y'all see, it's like I'm in arm distance within all type of stuff, right? What else? All right. Organic tropical fruit. Strawberries, mangoes, bananas, pineapples. All right. So just to let y'all know, yeah, I'm still on that shit. But if I had the urge to eat some goddamn McDonald's, I'm gonna eat some fucking McDonald's. I love rum, as you should. I understand. I didn't understand before, but I understand now. I get it. It's a magical thing. It is alchemy. I completely understand. But that's all I can say. I get it. I'm like, yeah, that tequila. I gotta stay away from tequila. That's why you don't be seeing me drinking too, but I gotta stay away from tequila. Tequila will have me fucking loose as a motherfucker. I gotta stay away from it. That's why I don't even be drinking like that. I know what comes with this. I know what I'm like, I'll be too way too fucking friendly. I know what come with this. I'm like, nah, the world ain't ready to see that version of me yet. They not ready for it. It's like it's still unfiltered. I gotta refine it. That part of me has to be refined. So yeah, I can smoke all day, whatever. But when it comes to that alcohol, I don't have that much experience. I don't have that much experience. I have to refine that part. I remember I did a live stream after drinking. I fucking fell out right after the live stream. I'm like, damn, I didn't even make it to the bed though. I didn't even make it to the bed. I was like, oh, like okay, I gotta be careful with this. So I'm still experimenting with the alcohol, but I haven't done experiments in a minute though. I haven't done experiences in a minute. I recently broke my fast, and now the food doesn't taste the same. It's like my body is rejecting it. Yeah, because it was your body had got used to it. Like our body just get used to the poison. Our body gets used to the filth. So when you remove it and then your body recovers from it and you try to eat it again, then your body reminds you like, oh, this was never good for you. We just had to navigate around it. But that don't mean we about to keep doing this shit though. It's like your body has its own consciousness. Right? So I would say, that's actually not a bad thing, especially if it was bad for you. You ain't supposed to be fucking with it anyway, unless it's for spiritual reasons. So I'll say I'm like, oh, that's how people stay healthy. Like you may see them have a feast, and then they eating all type of crazy shit, but then the rest of the week, they eating regular stuff. So like just because you see people eating crazy on the feast, don't mean that's just how they live on a daily basis. Just like me, like just because I may eat McDonald's one day, that don't mean I'm eating it every damn day. You can't say that that's a part of my diet because I had it one time, or I just that's something I do once a week or something. Your diet is what you're eating the majority of the time, what you're eating every day. So if I'm eating goddamn granola every day and plant-based rice and goddamn fruit, if that's what I'm eating every day, and then I just decide to eat McDonald's, I'm just saying McDonald's because they be having like the goddamn 20-piece nuggets. I don't know these other places like they be charging. I don't be getting full off the meals, right? They got all type of stuff, but they don't. I'm like, yo, I need like a big ass, I need like a large amount of food to feel satisfied. I'm like, I'm not about to pay fucking $10 for a sandwich, fries, and a drink, and then I'm still hungry after I eat all this. But then McDonald's 20 goddamn nuggets for under $10. I'm like, that may actually make me full. Then you can add fries. Anyway, anyway, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. During the fast, people 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 offered me vodka and herb, and I took the offer in interest of what happens when you fast. It's because it's chemical warfare. You know, these chemicals be fucking up our mentality, be fucking up our consciousness. You know, so when you cleanse yourself, you have clarity, and people can feel that clarity. You stand out more. You stand out because you have a clean aura. You know, you have clean thoughts. But you don't realize that till after you fast. Like, damn, this wasn't even me. Like, if you turn to a different person when you fast, then you realize that, damn, who I think I am, I'm not. Because if you fast and now you no longer have a desire for sex, you no longer have a desire for food, you no longer have a tolerance of bullshit. Then you start asking yourself, okay, when I start eating all these chemicals, now I have a tolerance for the bullshit. So am I really the bullshit? Or is it really the chemicals? Because I have to have certain chemicals in my body to even care about this stuff. So if I don't have these chemicals in, which is basically food, meaning if you fast and then you don't have no energy, no, it's not that if you fast you don't have no energy. If your energy doesn't resonate with certain things no more, you just don't care about it, you know. But that's what fasting is for. Fasting just shows and prove that you don't have to have any vices. That's what fasting is about. It prove that you don't have to have any vices. As y'all see, I'm sure I showed y'all all this weed. Right? I ain't even touching it like that because like it's not a vice, right? If it was a vice, I would have been through this stuff already. And then y'all see, I only took a couple hits of this. It's ain't about nothing. There's no vice. So I'm still benefiting off that fast and that Ramadan. I'm still benefiting off that because I don't it's like the vice is just not there, right? But I do got to work on. I be eating crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I be eating crazy. Like for example, I used to not eat that much, but now I'm eating for like 3 people now. I guess the spirits just require that much energy. It's like I feel like I'm eating for like 3 people and shit. I'm like, I didn't even know I can eat all that. How the fuck am I able to eat goddamn 20 nuggets like I was talking about? And then I can still eat more. I'm like I got 3 stomachs and shit. But it's because you feed the spirits, right? You working a lot too. Yeah, so this is what I mean. It's like where I work, there is nothing around. Like there is no restaurants. There's nowhere to order food where I work. I'm literally in a whole what is it? A industry. Um, it's just nothing but industry, nothing but warehouses and stuff. Like the whole area is just nothing but warehouses. There's nothing around. So they basically have like little snacks and shit that you can buy, on site. So that's pretty much what people be eating because you don't be having time to go nowhere unless you bring your food from home. You not bring your food from home, like you basically gotta eat these snacks. And of course, they're just snacks. They're not supposed to get you full, so you end up buying more and more. End up spending like $10 a day just off of fucking snacks, just getting through the day. Even though like it's not really a big deal, but I'm like I be eating a lot though. Fucking stomach is getting bigger, not physically bigger, but I'm like, yeah, I'm eating for the spirits now as well. That's what's going on. Eating for the spirit now. Again, like shit that I didn't care about. I didn't give a fuck about no goddamn McDonald's. Why the fuck do I want a 20-piece nuggets? Why do I care about that? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm eating for people now. I'm not eating for a person. I'm eating for people. Then it's just an after effect of working with energies. Because remember, we said spirits. Yeah, you can't give them money, but you can give them food. You know how people like set out plates for the spirits, and some people you are the altar and you eat the spirit. If the spirit wants something, you eat it. Something that you probably don't even care about. Like I be wanting to get like In and Out for those on the West Coast. You know In and Out, which is just basically those like the best burgers on the West Coast. Meaning they always have their line is always full. So there is no Wendy's. Well, there you got Wendy's, you got Arby's, you got Cane's, you got McDonald's, you got all these places. But In and Out got the game on lock in the West Coast. If you on the West Coast, you know about In and Out. They got this shit locked down. And nobody is fucking with no fast food is fucking with them. Every day the line be out of the parking lot onto the actual street. And I'm right down the street from one. Every day fucking the line is going all the way out. I'm like, damn, like they selling crack. It's some crack line shit. I'm like, that motherfuckers literally are eating this every day. I understand though. I understand. Cause I'm like, this the quality of the meat. This you're not about to look at no McDonald's burger and then you look at an In and Out burger and you like, yo, why the fuck would I? You be it just In and Out makes these other burgers look like what they really are. If you compare like a McDonald's to a Wendy's and the Arby's, all the burgers are like bread and somebody threw some fucking meat on it. But with the In and Out, it looks like somebody made your food with love. Like what? This is what they got. They got the food presentation on lock. That's what they do better than all this other fast food shit. They just putting your fucking food in a box and they just giving that shit to you. In and Out, it seems like somebody like damn, it's like a newborn baby. They just gave you love. And when you just looking at your food like damn, I can take a picture of this shit. That's what In and Out do. So that's I'll give them that. Their presentation, like the food actually looks high caliber, high quality. You look like you're actually eating real food and not some synthetic shit. So I understand why they're booming. That presentation is on point. So every now and then, I'll be like, maybe I should, but I don't. I end up not getting it because the lines be too damn long. The lines be too long. Like you gotta get it early in the day. Like what time is it? It's like 12:50. Like basically after 5, it's over with. After 5 p.m., it's over with. Like you gotta get your shit early. But again, I don't be able to get it early. I be at work. You know what I mean? So I'm like the only time I make it in the area, it'd be like 7:30. It's already over with. I'll be up in there like 30 minutes waiting. I'm like, nah, it ain't that worth it. It's not worth it. But yeah, I'll take up about what 10 minutes before we get up out of here. I'm not a big cheese fan. See, for me, I just can't take it. Like my body can't take dairy. It wasn't even a choice for me. It makes me sick. You know what I mean? Like you got certain things that you just don't eat, like you don't care for it, but then you got shit that make you sick. Like if I try to drink milk, sick. I try to drink. If I try to drink milk, sick. Try to eat cheese, I'm out of here. So my body just hates dairy. It's like my body just starts feeling crazy around dairy. I'm like, no, I can't do that. My body just rejects that shit, dairy. Right? My body just rejects it. I can't, and that's always been that way. I remember being a kid and my mother poured milk in the goddamn cereal, and I was like, "What the?" I'm like, "Yo," I tried to eat that shit with a spoon. I'm like, oh my, oh. Ever since then, I've been eating dry cereal. So like my sisters would be having their goddamn milk. I'm always the one with the dry cereal because I'm like, "Yo, this is like this milk shit," and that's so it's been that way since the beginning. Like dairy, it's like we went to war in a previous life or something. Like dairy, like my body don't want no parts of it. My body don't want no parts of it. So like the craziest shit is, it's also that way with a pig. You know, if I try to eat pork, it's like I feel. It's like I can't. It's like you feel something moving in your body. That's what I say. It's like it take like 7 years to get that shit completely out your system. I understand, and I'm like, yo, when I eat that shit, I feel like I'm getting stupid. I feel like I'm getting stupid when I eat pig. I can feel like my third eye feels like it's calcifying. I feel that I'm like, you know what? I'm not. I can't do that. See, before it's like, okay, you don't eat pig because Muslims don't eat pig, right? That's why I didn't fuck with it. But when I tried it again, I'm like, why do I feel my third? I'm like, that shit. I'm like, why am I feeling internal effects? I'm like, nah, nope. Because a pig is poison. It is poison, just like tobacco is poison, right? So like, I'm like, hell no, I can't do it. But I was a kid eating that shit. I was a kid eating it, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So it didn't do nothing to me as a kid, but nah. But again, I don't eat most stuff at this point, so I don't eat most of what most people eat at all. You know, like I just showed y'all just a little hint of my diet. I'm eating goddamn granola and plant based, rice and goddamn a tropical fruit. So so my diet is already, I guess, clean as you can. The only time I eat crazy is when I'm out. Again, when I'm at work snacking on fig bars, or I'm en route. But you see, if I'm just in the midst of my own energy, I'm like, oh no. That's how you know just how influential the world is. When I'm not amongst the world, this is basically what I'm doing. I'm just at peace. But when I go out there into the world, now I'm thinking about goddamn fig bars. I'll be trying to keep my sanity at work. That's what I'm saying. These goddamn women be just wearing anything. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to do my fucking job. I'm trying to do my damn job. Fucking body parts is just out. Cause they want to wear goddamn tights and shit. I'm like, oh my, I'm like, yo, so I can't just do my job. I just can't do it, right? Cause this is like the majority. This ain't just like a couple. Like the women just don't wear pants. They just wear tights and shit, yoga pants. I'm like, yo. So I gotta be in an environment where the women just feel this comfortable to show up at work in these goddamn yoga pants and these tights and these leggings. I'm like, I thought we was at work here. I thought we was here to move boxes. Why why is this appropriate? That's what I realized. I'm like, you know what? This is not what I thought it is. Or I thought it was. This is not what I thought it was at all. And then I'm like, okay, there are different people here for different reasons. Everybody's not here for the same reason. I began to learn. I'm like, yeah, some people come to work fresh and shit. So I'm like, you would never think that this person works at a warehouse if you just look at their apparel. But then I had to come to the conclusion. I'm like, this is all young people. This is just a spirit of youth. They're not necessarily doing anything wrong here. I'm like, damn. I really am older. Cause I'm thinking like, I'm only gonna wear work clothes to this work environment. That's me just being older. Till I realized, I'm like, that there's a reason why they do what they do. Anyway, I didn't even show y'all the headpieces. I didn't even show y'all the headpieces. I'm just trying to show y'all as much as I can. As little time as we have. As little time as we have is showing y'all. Oh yeah, I didn't even show y'all the apples. So I didn't even show y'all the apples. A whole fucking bag of apples. Hold on, give me a second. All right. I got another one here. As you can see, we couldn't wear tights when I used to work at the warehouse. That's what I'm saying. No, you normally can't. You normally have a dress code for reasons like this. Like, I understand why it's a dress code. You don't want people getting distracted. But they're like, nah, you know what? Wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. However you want to wear it. You can wear a head. So there's people in there with motherfucking fitted caps, beanies on, and you see me with this. People in there with bandanas and shit. So like they just let you just be whoever the fuck you want to be on. I'm like, all right. Let me get my costume. That's basically what that's. I'm like, oh, I see what people do. I'm like, oh, if they telling you to wear whatever you want, that means you need to express your personality. So yeah, so the way I express my personality is through these. Good, I got this one. I just use these. They call them turbans. Your job sounds lit, yeah, until you actually got to move the boxes. Imagine touching 1,000 boxes a day. Yeah, it's all good till you actually have to work. Because again, most people ain't coming to actually work. Because when you actually work, now you breaking a sweat. Again, if you saw me after work, you probably you see how sweaty I am after work. It's ridiculous. Here's another one. So yeah, those is two. All right, got that one. Got that one. That dark gray, the light gray. All right, just be trying to do a little something. As you see, keep it plain, keep it neutral. No logos, no shit like that. But no, it's not lit for me when I gotta look at these women. I'm like, yo, I ain't come to work to be distracted. I gotta be distracted at work now. Yeah, see, sometimes I be like, oh my God, being a man is not easy. I'm like, oh man. Sometimes I wish I didn't have that in me. Sometimes I wish I didn't have that in me, just not to give a fuck about that. I wish I didn't give a fuck about that shit. I'm like, oh my God. But I do, it's biological, right? But biologically, I care. Spiritually, I'm trying to keep my mind focused, but biologically, it's like, oh my God. I'm just trying to pay the goddamn rent. I gotta be distracted. I can't just make the money. It's a blue one. I just got these in, so I like to wash them before I put them on. So that's why it's kind of wrinkly. The blue one here. So I'm gonna wash all these joints. So you just got a little variety here. Just starting off small. A little black one. All right. So just little head pieces, little turbans. I got my turbans. As y'all see, this is another symbol of the Islam. Keeping the Islam going. Wait, I'm missing one. Hold on, I'm missing one. Hold on, I'm missing one. All right. But yeah, for me, I ain't come here for all that. I ain't fucking coming to work. Like it's a block on New York. Like I didn't come for work for that. But that's just the type of environment we in, right? You feel like you on the block in New York. And if you ever been to New York, you know what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of noise, a bunch of construction. It's a lot of fashionable people, and a lot of young shit going on, right? It's a lot of young shit going on. So I'm like, damn, I know I was gonna be on stage, cause like when I'm doing my job, it ain't again. I'm not in the office somewhere in a corner where it's only a handful of people. It'd be hundreds, maybe 1,000 people, and then I'll be on the goddamn forklift for everybody to see. So anybody can just stop and just look and just be watching me and shit. That's how my motherfucker to be fucking watching from. I'm like, oh man. So it's like I'm on stage. It ain't that type of job where you kind of just get comfortable because you around the same group of people. Nah, like you be around other people daily. I know the vibe. Of course you do with Model 72. You already know where I'm going with it. It's like you just on the block. It's just people are getting paid. Just on the block chilling and shit. Like, oh, we just so happen to be throwing boxes on the conveyor line, unloading the trucks, you know, the freight, taking the freight out. We just so happen to be doing that, but we're actually on the block of New York. That's just we're pretending to be workers in the warehouse. And we're pretending to work, but we're really on the block in New York. And this is, everybody's clicked up. Everybody's in their own department. Like, that's what's really going on here. It just appears that we're here working, getting paid for it. But anyway, it's a blue one, as I showed y'all before. Uh, so you see I'm turbaned out. It's a gray one. So you see turbans. Now I showed y'all earlier all those plain shirts, the black shirt, the white shirt, the grays. So y'all see, I just keep it plain. Just keep it plain. Sweatpants, no logos. It's a black one. All right. And then lastly, got the red joint. Whenever I'm feeling wicked, just put on that red joint. Whenever I'm feeling like a Martian. So yeah, just be going. So that's just how I express myself through the turbans. So everybody know I already feel the funniest shit. The funniest shit was somebody actually yelled some shit out their car at me. I didn't hear what they said, but I know it was disrespectful. I had my turban on. I'm just traversing the desert. Somebody was mad as fuck. Somebody was mad as fuck and yelled some shit at me. It was some white man, some fat white man was heated about something and just had to let it be known. This shit, like, oh, he has a fucking turban on. Yell at him. Again, I didn't know what the fuck he said. I guess I was just protected by the spirit. It didn't even resonate with me. Like I didn't feel no type of way. I'm like, yo, I don't know what he just said. I just saw his face. It was just mad. It's just saw this mad face. Oh shit. I'm like, traversing through the desert with a turban on, I guess disturbed him. He didn't like that view at all. And he just had to let me know about it. But again, I didn't even hear what he said. I'm like, whatever. Somebody's having a bad day. So again, let me just giving y'all some insight that you're not gonna get anywhere else, right? I'm just giving y'all that real, cause I know y'all are probably in similar situations. That motherfucker like, oh yeah, go work your job. Then you got some woman who wants to take it above and beyond. Now you can't even do your damn job, right? You thought you came in to work. You didn't realize that somebody else came in with different intentions. And now you just being a goddamn man you gotta fucking neuter yourself. Cause you know, yeah, you say something crazy, then yeah, that's over with. It ain't worth you losing the money. So it's like you just gotta damn near turn your head. Like, let me pretend like it's not there. Let me pretend like I'm just in a room full of men. Let me pretend like it's not there. You women, you women, you fucking, you so goddamn slick. I'm like I know what you doing. I know what you doing. You just so slick with it. I'm gonna say stay focused. Oh yeah, well y'all make it hard to stay focused. See, that was the intention. The intention was to stay focused till you realize, like, oh, that's not everybody's intention. Because if everybody's intention was to stay focused, nobody would be in here with goddamn tights and leggings. That wouldn't be a situation right now, right? That wouldn't be happening. Okay, let's focus on the job. Let's focus on moving these boxes. Man, it would just be that. Nope, nope. I gotta be reminded that I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually in New York right now. I'm actually on Broadway right now. I'm actually in center stage right now. See, now when I have to come to the realization of what's really going on here. Like, this is a portal to New York. Like, I have just entered into a portal. Like, I'm on a block in New York. Because everything is just vast. Like, the whole goddamn. It takes 5 minutes to walk from one side of the warehouse to another side. That's just how big this damn building is. 300 seconds to walk from one end to the other end. Then if you go from that end to the, like, basically if it's going in the square, it'll probably take you like 10 minutes to go through the whole guy. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, the only thing that will cut that off is if I fast. If I fast, then yeah, like it just dissolves. So honestly, it's the chemicals in my body that just got me like, if I just want to be honest about it, it's the chemicals. Without those chemicals, then yeah, it wouldn't be an issue. But I just see what's going on here. I just see what's going on. I feel like I'm the only one that actually just come to actually work. I'm actually here just to work. I told y'all earlier. Some dude was laughing at me. He like, damn, you actually came here to work? You actually came here to sweat? Looking at me like I done lost my damn mind. And this is a fellow employee. Like, damn, you actually came here to work and get tired and sweat and do all that? Like, he's looking at me like you fool. Like you fool. Like what are you doing? So this is how I know that we're all in the same location, but we don't all have the same intent. And I had a certain intent, but I didn't know the environment was going to be like this. I swear. I swear I did not know the environment was going to be like this. I'm thinking it's going to be some regular shit. I didn't think I was going to be around 1,000 fucking people. I'm like, wait a minute. There's so many people in there. You may not see a person the whole day, and they was there the whole day, and you didn't even see them. That's just how many people it is. It's like you seeing different people every day, right? So it ain't like you seeing the same group of people. It's like you're like, yo, who the fuck is that? So anyway, so enough about that stuff. Yeah, well, I can talk to y'all about that all day. I just see what's going on here. I think they do it for motivation, though. I think the women do it for motivation because if all the women were doing was dressing in fucking with loose pants and you wasn't able to see the shape, then I think the man would be very depressed in that facility. So honestly, I think the women actually keeps the man motivated. So I get it. I'm just very. I'm like, damn, I didn't know they use these tactics. This is like dark tactics. That's what I felt like. Wait a minute, this is a form of dark psychology right here. Because again, like, I just see, like, if we want to talk about the darkest of the dark, we can talk about that. I'm like, the tactics that they're using is very dark. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying like that's it's like you using dark tactics. So in order to keep me motivated, you're basically just telling everybody, oh, just wear whatever you want. See that we got motherfuckers in there extra comfortable, and I mean extra comfortable, man. Like women in there with a goddamn t-shirt and tights. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be focused on the work, but you got women walking around here like they in the goddamn house. I'm like, I'm supposed to stay focused. I'm like, yeah, I guess I am supposed to stay focused, but I got to go through some extracurricular activity to stay focused, right? But I got some, all right, just mind my business, right? But again, I'm just fucking with y'all. Just giving y'all the unfiltered truth. But yeah, it's not, I'll be cool. Uh, to get through the weeks, they get you thinking about clapping cheeks. This is what I'm saying. It's a dark tactic. It's a dark tactic, but very effective. That's why I can admire it from afar. You know, I be sure to keep my distance. I keep my distance. So I just admire from afar. I'm just doing the knowledge, right? So I'm like, yeah, I know not to get into any of their midst. I'm like, yeah, like, leave these women alone. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. Like, just admire from afar. That's all I do is admire from afar. But it's a dark tactic, and it's very effective. And I just wasn't expecting that to be used. But I'm like, it is Vegas though. I think it has something to do with it. This is Vegas, and this is just how Vegas get down. Vegas is just casual, right? That's just how the fuck they get down. They're like, yo, this sun is too goddamn hot to have a dress code. I think that's their thinking. Like, the sun is hot as fuck. So if people want to come in here with t-shirts and leggings because it's 110 degrees outside, are we really going to tell them no? I'm like, makes sense to me. That's just the nature of the desert, huh? Can you elaborate on the number 13 and someone with life path 13? For one, there is no life path 13s. So I'm not sure where you got that from. Because a life path number is a single number. So it's 1 through 9, right? So when you say you have a life path 13, I'm not sure what type of numerology you got that from. Now, of course, we can elaborate on the number 13, but you're saying your life path is 13. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure how you arrived at that conclusion, right? Thought we were dealing with single digits here. Now, if you're talking about Chaldean numerology, which does deal with compound numbers, that still wouldn't apply to your life path, though. That would apply to other numbers, but not necessarily your life path. So give me your reference. How did you come to the conclusion that you are a life path 13? What is your reference for that? But in the meantime, if we just wanted to speak about 13, it depends on where you are in the world. In the Eastern Hemisphere, 13 is a lucky number. Lucky number 13. You come over here to the West, it's unlucky. It's connected with all types of, you know, what do I want to call it? Conspiracy theory, unluckiness. So 13 in the West is unlucky, but 13 in the East is lucky. Whether it's lucky or unlucky is irrelevant. The point is, it deals with transformation because the 13th card in the tarot is death. The 13th major arcana card is death. And death deals with transformation, birth, and rebirth. So if you are 13, then that means you have a very, very challenging time. It represents a challenge. How do we know? Because 1 plus 3 gives you 4, so most likely you are a 4 life path. And 4 is the most challenging number. That's how you arrive at that. 4 is the most challenging number out of all numbers. Why? Because the number 4 gives you a bunch of problems that you have to solve. Because that's just the nature of the number 4. It makes you a better problem solver. So of course, how can you be a better problem solver without equations to solve? So the number 4, literally things are just popping out of thin air, equation after equation after equation after equation. Like, yo, where's all these problems coming from? It's for you to solve it. So to be a number 4, this means you are a problem solver. You know, you are the one people call when problems need to be solved, when things need to be fixed. So you can call yourself a technomancer or an engineer, somebody who's the one who is called when things need to be fixed. You're the one that people call when they need a problem to be handled. So you're the one fixing things, you're the one handling things, right? And because you're immersed in basically in other people's death and rebirth, it generates a certain type of energy. The energy that we call death, but not death of a physical sense, but death as the currency that gives you new life. In order to gain new life, you must go through death, right? Or destruction. Some things have to be leveled before you can build on top of them again, right? Some things you got to clear out before you do anything. Some things you can't just come into a situation and there's stuff already going on and you just continue. Some things need to be flattened. The number 4 represents the idea of flattening the surface and starting from the ground up. So the number 4 is like breaking new ground. So number 4, you're always breaking new ground. You're always journeying into new territories, doing what nobody else is willing to do. Because who wants to break new ground and do all that dirty work? The number 4 represents the dirty work. Again, working on pipes and shit, digging into the ground with sewage, things that most people don't think about, but they utilize every day. Right? You got to utilize your bathroom facilities every day. You got to use your kitchen facilities. You got to deal with drains and all that. So whenever there's a problem, certain people have to be called to fix those problems. And most people are not those people that are called when problems occur, which is on a daily basis, hourly basis, on a minute basis, right? So this is like an independent contractor, somebody who's called out to a particular location to fix a machine that went down or whatever the case is, right? It's like a contractor, an independent contractor. So number 4 is always, somebody who's, very understanding that the particular skill set that they have is useful, not only in a working environment, but an environment where they can start their own business or a trade or something like that, right? So these are good like tradesmen, tradeswomen, people with trades, people with skill sets, people who like to go level to level to level to level, right? People who like to think basically, smaller. What I mean by smaller is like if you're a worker, you're thinking about how to become the manager type shit. You're not thinking about, okay, how do I take over the world? You're like, okay, well, how do I become the manager of my particular work location? And you're willing to do and take those steps that's required for you to be the master over that particular dimension. right? Because a number four is a very earthly number. This is a number of mathematics. If you break down mathematics, it's going to take you to the number four. That's why mathematics is introducing you to a bunch of problems that need to be solved, which makes you a better problem solver or a solver of problems, which allows you to discover new problems that people may not have been thinking about. So now you're getting ahead of the game because you're able to discover new problems that people were not thinking about. So instead of solving old problems, you're able to solve new problems before they actually happen. That's the real energy of the number four. You're able to solve new problems before they even occur, before people are even thinking about it. It's already solved. There's already a solution. I'm not even sure if this is working. Hold on. All right, so hopefully that answered your question. We'll be able to check up out of here. And I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I know we done been here way longer than we probably should have. So I'm going to have to run these errands before I have to clock back in. I'm going to catch up on the Telegram. So all the people are part of the Telegram. I'm going to catch up. I'll be caught up today. And I should see y'all, in the next 4 days. So I guess that'll be like Saturday or Sunday. Once I knock out these 40 hours. And then hopefully by that time, I should have either some new music, new ASMR. I should have some new content for y'all. So yeah, that's basically it. So, I'll work on what I have to work on this side of things. So I can bring y'all some very, very interesting views and perspectives, right? So with that, I say peace, 93. Love's the law, love under will. Love is a law, love under will. We out.